Hello and welcome to another edition of Bombers Blitz, which may be the take, which may be the sit down. If I can get my guest to come in, welcome to the College Football Mafia channel. I'm your host, Nathan Bomber Brown, and we're all jacked to talk about college football. I think I got to lower my tone. Sorry, I was excited to get started tonight. Welcome to the channel. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube. If you're on X, do me a favor, jump over, open a new window, and go to YouTube, put in College Football Mafia. We pop up, hit the subscribe button, and we're really pushing, trying to get more members. The off season's big for us. We just need a little more help on these subscriptions. So if you're watching on replay, you're doing any of those things, now's the time to hit those things. I appreciate you being here tonight. The topic du jour will probably be Brendan Sorsby. I seriously tried to think of ways to, draw everybody's attention somewhere else. But I mean, it's almost impossible. I spent 2 hours last night. Yeah, I was up late. A bunch of you were too. Talking about the Brendan Sorsby mess. It was that big a deal. Normally I don't do same day stuff outside of a short here or there, but people are passionate about this, right? And I got to shout out, I've got my Texas Tech flag up there. And I think I'm getting tired of Texas Tech being carte blanche blamed. And I'll describe that. We'll go through that a little bit. But I've got my flag up because there are really good people at Texas Tech. There are a lot of people putting their opinions in. At the end of the day, we have to deal with what? We have to deal with powerful people that have the yes, no vote, right? They can go to you and say, sorry, that's not going to be okay. We want this and we want that, and we're going to pay the money for it. There's not much you can do for that. Cody Campbell, who I've interviewed, I like Cody. There's stuff about his Protect College Sports Act that I like. There's some stuff I really don't like. But it's interesting, this paradigm shifting, everybody talk about Super League, everybody talking about P2, everybody talking about realignment or consolidation. All those things were important 3 days ago. Now, outside of the news reports, which we're hearing, which is senators and congressmen getting to talk one-on-one with the creators of the bill, also with stakeholders, that's important. And the only way we're going to get a PCSA or anything like that is going to be through everybody holding hands across the aisle. Everybody will have to give up something. But I mean, just like that, it went from being the only thing that really mattered to now we're dealing with something that has to do with choice. And everybody along the way has choices, and we're going to go through those. You guys are super smart, so I don't have to devolve. I can just give you high-level notes and just say, this is kind of how I'm seeing it, and then I want to hear you guys' comments back. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, follow, like, and tweet, and do all those other things on X. And then consider becoming a member or a super chat. You can give us a super chat as well by hitting the dollar bill next to the comments section. You'll see comments going down, and for me, it's on the side. And I just realized, hang on, I want to make sure that I get you guys's. I really want to get you guys's new memberships and call them out. And I can't do that without having the window up. So give me just a second. I was so worried about. I was so worried about getting up all the buttons for the show that I forgot to actually open this one, which is way more important. Anyway, so I'll be able to track that as well. So Brendan Sorsby and then Protect College Sports Act. We can talk about that. We can talk about college football playoff. That's another thing a lot of people are passionate about. I imagine we'll probably spend the first hour on Brendan Sorsby, if not more. But I'm just inviting you to get involved. Ask people in the chat kind of what we talk about around here. Be open. There are no dumb questions, but there are dumb people. So everybody watching can see through. So coming in and trolling and some of these other things, we don't get much of that because our members self-police, and I really am proud of that. And I want to shout out all of our members for doing everything we can, because while we're running shows, it's hard to manage people in chat. So I appreciate everybody doing that. Yeah, I think that's where we want to start. There's no reason to make this complex. Danielle Kelley, Assistant Attorney General. An actual person, everybody. An Assistant Attorney General for the state of Florida. Hopefully will be joining us. She had a family thing come up, and that's all first, right? But if she has a chance to join the show, I'm going to bring her on. We're going to talk about not only the PCSA, which she's passionate about, realignment she's passionate about, but this Brendan Sorsby thing. And I want to hear how she's looking at it, because as a person who works for a state entity and as an actual attorney general for the state of Florida, no joke, no making up biographies. These people are the ones that help enforce laws. It would be fantastic to have her opinions about what's kind of going on right now. We did a few weeks ago. We're going to do it again. If and when that happens, I will invite you guys to leave super chats. I definitely read all those while I'm doing interviews most of the time. Sometimes I miss one if it's a really hot interview. I'll try to get to as many comments as I can. If you're a member of the College Football Mafia, I'm just going to bring up Kenneth Maynor is one. You can tell by the little logo next to his name. And Kenneth has been a longstanding OG member of the College Football Mafia family. I want to shout him out saying happy Wednesday from Tobacco Road. He is a University of Florida Gators / East Carolina Pirates representative. And tonight it is the SEC. So thank you very much, Kenneth, for being here. And that's what I love to see is these new memberships. So I'm going to shout out everybody, and then we will get right into the story. So right now, if you're just watching, just joining, feel free to leave your comments. I try to say hello to as many new people as I can. Now's the time to do that. The other hack is use my name, Bomber, in a comment, and I tend to read those as well because, I'm self-centered. All right, let's do some shout-outs here. Oh, hey, at the College Football Mafia, that's Buckshot Kid, who always generally is the first person in. I appreciate you, Buckshot Kid. It's great to have you here. Thank you so much. And hey to you, too. Valuable member of the College Football Mafia family. Jay Chapman, who's been a member before. I'd love for him to come back. OSY, yo, everybody. Okay, I'm sorry, Jay. In the comments, please tell me what that acronym means. Moen's not here. I'm not sure. Does anybody in the comments tell me what OSIYO actually means? I don't know that acronym, so I'm sorry. But it's great to see Jay in here, fan of the SEC. Somebody is pretty level-headed, and I appreciate him being in the comments. Daniel, the other Gygax, says hi, everyone. Daniel was with me last night and is a contributor to the College Football Mafia family. I really appreciate that. Bob Swanger checking in for Penn State and the Big Ten, saying, hey, everyone. Also a valuable member of the College Football Mafia family. This is funny. I'm going to read it just because it's funny. Jay Chapman says, what shall we discuss this evening? You guys know my shows. Unless I have a guest, I go sidetrack all the time. Wherever the story goes, I will follow what you guys want to talk about. I've got bookmarks and articles, all kinds of things I could bring up if you want to talk about them. Now's the time to suggest them in the comment section. No promises, but I will try to get to them. Let's see here. MBM checks in. Renewed member of the College Football Mafia family. MBM represents, actually, he's been with us. I apologize. 27 months. I was thinking of somebody else, MBM, who's a super fan for the Oklahoma State Cowboys, saying, go Pokes. Good to have you here, MBM. BYU football, Shonsky in-house saying, Cody Campbell is acting like a clown over this Sorsby debacle. Yeah, boy, Shonsky. Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, I get it. This is what Cody Campbell is. Asking him to do something different would not make a ton of sense, right? It would be out of character. But I think he's hurt the Protect College Sports Act. I think he's hurt the PCSA because now people are making decisions based on emotion. And if you like somebody and what they're doing, by extension, that means the attacks on Texas Tech and Sorsby. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. But Shonsky, it's good to have you here so much. Let's see here. Skaven, yes, go Big Red. Representing Nebraska Cornhuskers. Good to see you, Skaven. He says, hello, Bomber. Appreciate you being a member of the College Football Mafia family. Jan Hulk, hey all. Just in case you don't know, Jan Hoek is in Slovenia watching us. It is, what, 2 in the morning there, Jan? I appreciate you being here, though. Jan's stuck with us through thick and thin, and I really appreciate him being around. Caden the Diesel Freak saying, hey, Bomber. Good to have you here, Caden. Caden's also a member of the College Football Mafia family. Let's see. I'm going to continue to mark. Marcus Williams called in last night, and amazing call. Marcus did a great job last night. Let's go, Bomber. Thank you again for being a member of the College Football Mafia family. So Cody Campbell is crashing out, I see. Man, that is one way to look at it. Like, once you're so far around the bend, once you're to 181 degrees, isn't the trip faster to keep going forwards than it is to retreat? I think that's where we're at. Cody Campbell, I think especially, and then Texas Tech, and then the administration at Texas Tech. They should have just taken a beat 6 weeks ago and thought about it instead of immediately jumping in and says, yes, of course. Because the minute they did that, it precluded all other options. And now Texas Tech is all in. Like 1,000% all in. And in my opinion, it's a big mistake. Anyway, Nick Kelso checking in. When is Tech getting booted from the Big 12? That's not going to happen. And I know you're tongue in cheek there, Nick Kelso, valuable member of the College Football Mafia family, saying, is that going to happen? I'm going to say no. They're not going to get booted. I don't even think they may get sanctioned. So everybody needs to look. What's the difference between implied possible cheating in gambling versus actual cheating? University of Michigan, who goes on to win a national championship. What did the Big Ten do? They suspended the coach, 2 or 3 weeks? They slapped Michigan, but everybody winked and nodded and went on. Why is Tech any different? The answer, in my opinion, the answer is they're not different at all. You might say that there's shades of different things, but I don't agree that, I'm just not on the Barry Tech yet. There will come a point where we'll have to reapply that once some time goes by and some events happen. Trojan Fight, new member of the College Football Mafia family, also somebody who's very active. Good to have you here, Trojan. Fight on, Mafia. Thank you so much, Trojan. It's really great to see you. Marcus Williams, $2 super chat, says Cody Campbell is definitely crashing out. Yeah, like I said, I think he's just so far around it's a shorter distance to go forward than it is to go back. Cody X Reviews, a newer member of the College Football Mafia family. Thank you so much, Cody, for all you've done for us. Saying, hey, Nate, hope your day was good. Go Pack. Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's great to see you, Cody. Let's just stop there. I think we're going to get into some details, but I'm doing okay. This week has been kind of crazy, but you guys always make it rain. When I sit down here, I have a ton of fun. Couple more, and then we will get to the news. Bob Swanger, Bomber gambling is totally different. Texas Tech is saying no big deal. So thank you for one thing, Bob. You just in that one statement, you identified the core of the problem, right? What have I always said? And I am on record till the end of time. I'm empathetic to the person that made the poor choice. I'm for a high level of accountability for something like gambling. And in my opinion, Sorsby's just going to go to the end. He has lawyers. He wants $5 million, right? And then he wants to boost his draft stock and potentially win a national championship. That is Sorsby. Texas Tech is the one that's the question. Because in my opinion, Texas Tech, up to this point, providing support, I think it's hard for me to say that the support itself has been detrimental to the game. There is a point, though, where it turns the corner, and that point is coming up, Bob, and maybe that's further what you're saying. If they play him, then Texas Tech has to own everything after that. Is it Tech's fault he showed up on their doorstep broken? And I mean that in a humanly, really sensitive way. Like, he showed up, he has real challenges, right? Tech, again, $5 million NIL. They should have done a basic background check on him. They should have known about this before they brought him in. I think if that would have happened, but that before they brought him in the offseason, as a transfer, I don't think they ever bring him on. And he might not even be playing this year. I mean, trying to play this year. So I hope I'm explaining this correctly. I support Texas Tech's efforts to be a positive and reinforcing entity in Brendan Sorsby's life. ... However, he should be held accountable to the highest standard because of gambling. And if Texas Tech enables Sorsby by playing him, regardless of the temporary restraining order, everything past that point, Tech has to own. And that's kind of where I've come down. I thought about this for a long time. There's one other piece nobody's talking about, and they completely forget about it. And I mentioned it last night, and seriously, nobody even asks. But all of his gambling before was way against the law. State law, federal law. He actually broke laws, and nobody is talking about prosecution. And I'm not saying he should be prosecuted. What I'm saying is he did those things. He's on the record to admit he's done those things that were against the law. And yet nobody's talking about the law part of this. They're all talking about eligibility, Texas Tech, and NIL. And that's where I think the whole thing goes sideways. Anyway, Bob, I completely agree that they are different. But I don't think we've come to that point yet until Texas Tech plays him. Even the practices, I'm not against him practicing, but he should not. I mean, up to the first game of the season. But the last practice of the summer camp, he should be done in that last practice. He should not suit up for Texas Tech, and he should not play a down. He should not be the third backup. He should be on. Fine, give him a scholarship. Provide the emotional and human support that he requires for his recovery. All those things Texas Tech has done awesome. But enable poor choices, in my opinion, very poor choices. That's where Tech still has a window here, in my opinion, to make the right choice. Will they do it? None of us know. But Bob, thank you so much for being here, and I appreciate your comment. Texas Tech, Jay Chapman says, Texas Tech, well, it's not like he bet on injuries. Yeah, I don't. You can't gamble on your own team. It's zero tolerance. This temporary restraining order is more about how screwed up the NCAA is compared to enabling gambling. But again, nobody talks that far. Everybody just stays on the surface. I hope to go through that with you tonight. Here we go, MBM, $10 super chat. Thank you so much, MBM. I really appreciate you. I sympathize with techies. I was gutted when I read that Tyreek Hill was arrested for domestic violence. He was a Bedlam hero. That's true. Gundy kicked him off the team within 24 hours. It was the only move. I agree, MBM. And not to toot my own horn, but I think BYU the last 2 years has proven you don't enable poor choices. So I'm begging Texas Tech changes their minds. But I'm not against, I am totally against the Big 12 doing anything against him. And all this bullying from the Big 10 and the SEC really pisses me off. You're not going to play Tech? Fine, don't play Tech. It's so petty. It's not like you guys even have any games against them this year. And again, Michigan. Michigan cheated, outright cheated. Outright cheated. It's 1A and 1B, in my opinion. Anyway. I agree, Bomber. As Bob says, I agree, Bomber, but they are playing oh poor me. Yes, Cody Campbell's not doing anybody any favors. I agree with you 100%. And I'm going to read Kirby Hocutt, the AD's quote from today. I'm going to read the whole thing. it was hard for me to keep my lunch down when I saw that. Ryan Willie, $10 super chat. Also an OG member of the College Football Mafia family. Texas Tech is not making friends by threatening other conferences for not wanting to play them with lawsuits. Yeah, the whole thing is broken. The whole thing is broken. But I could not be more against bullying. And that's what I think we're dealing with right now. Tech's bristling and fighting back because they're fighting for survival, right? Expecting Tech to do something different at this point, I think, is stupid. If the Big 12, okay, I'm going to do a couple more comments and then we will drill down on actually what I think Tech should be doing. Rock and Rant, appreciate you being with me tonight, Rock, and also he was with me last night. I thank you so much. Rock says, hit the like button. Thank you so much, Rock. Appreciate you being here. And follow that up with, just wrapped up on my channel, sent some people over. Well, thank you, Rock. I appreciate that. College Football Express is where Rock resides. Until I can convince him to do something different. It's great to have you here, Rock. Thank you so much. And yeah, definitely go subscribe and like College Football Express. He does a fantastic job. Grateful Trojan again says, great show, Rock. What's up, Bomber? Thank you for being here. Grateful Trojan. I appreciate you. Thanks for being with me last night. And then Glenn Hanna, who is the representative of the Oregon Ducks. The Oregon Ducks. Got to win that natty. Got to win that natty, Glenn. Get that done, and everything else, whatever happened before doesn't matter. That's how Oregon changes the narrative forever and all time. Go win the national championship. Last comment. Old Dad 751, also a member of the College Football Mafia family. Yo, 80 days till CMN's farewell tour begins. Go Noles. CMN. You got to tell me who that is, Old Dad. I'm sorry. I don't have Moen with me to help me with the acronyms. CMNs. Are you talking about your coach? Oh, I can't freaking remember his name for some reason. Anyway, it's good to have you, Old Dad. Thank you so much, and thanks for being a member of the College Football Mafia family. And then Kenneth Maynor, again, says, would love to see McGuire flip and refuse to play Sorsby and tell Cody, thank you for your support, but know your role and shut your mouth. This is my team. Mass applause ensues. Thank you, Coach Norvell. Yeah, I should have got rid of him 2 years ago, Old Dad. Anyway, doesn't matter. Kenneth, yeah, you're seeing who has the power at Texas Tech right now. Absolutely seeing it right now. And this is a good example, right? I'm going to drink here. So let's talk about this specific comment. Let me go to my banners here. Which one do I want to use? Not that one. Not that one. I created all these banners and we want to use the right now. Okay, let's go with this. So this is my comment, and we're going to talk about this for a little bit. Let me bring up, if I can find it, which comment. I want the quote, right? Because I want to show you guys what exactly Texas Tech, Kirby Hocutt. Here we go. And I'm going to share this tab instead, and I'm going to bring it up, and we will go here. Oh, you can't freaking see it. Damn it. All right. Gosh, too slow. It's too small. I can't make myself small enough for you guys to read that, unfortunately. Let's see. Well, yeah, that sucks. I didn't test that. Well, I'm just, whatever. It's my show. I can do whatever I want. If you can't see, I will post the link for this so everybody can read it. Copy link. We don't make stuff up around here. We do this. So you guys can read along with me. But this is Kirby Hocutt, the AD at Texas A&M. I've watched the reaction on Monday's court ruling 2 days ago. from my colleagues across college athletics. Many of them are people I admire, but I also owe it to Texas Tech and frankly to the truth to offer a few facts that seem to be getting lost in the noise. Okay. Brendan Sorsby has not played a single down of football as a Red Raider. He will miss the first 2 games of the 2028 season under the terms of the court's ruling. What happens after that will depend in no small part on how his recovery continues to progress. We're taking it one day at a time, as he is. We'll evaluate his recovery, compliance, and readiness as we go. We are watching closely. We are deeply committed to his my eyes are jumping. I'm sorry. We are deeply committed to his progress and well-being, and we are not operating on blind faith. We are operating on a comprehensive clinical and compliance structure that we committed to before the court ruled on Brendan's lawsuit against the NCAA and the Brendan committee to NCAA, and that Brendan, if you use that in a sentence, don't use that. That's a anyway. Let's see here. I just lost what I was saying. We are deeply committed to his progress and well-being. We are operating a comprehensive clinical and compliance structure that we committed to before the court ruled in Brendan's lawsuit against the NCAA, and that Brendan Sorsby too, as a condition, he is returning to our football program. Okay, sorry, it's word salad, and I admit I'm having a hard time even reading it, but I want to get through it because these are quotes. This is not hyperbole from me. Texas Tech is not a party to Brendan's lawsuit. Okay. We did not file it. Okay. We did not fund it. Okay. A young man in treatment for clinically diagnosed addiction exercised his legal right to seek a remedy in court, and a judge agreed with him. Our role has been to support his recovery, not to engineer his eligibility. If people have been saying that, and there are people that have quotes that basically say, this is something Texas Tech is paying for, and the whole thing is a scheme to get him to get on the field and win a national championship, right? That's the story that everybody's been saying and trying to sell and paint Texas Tech in that regard. Everything Kirby Hocutt just said there is true. They have nothing to do with the lawsuit. But the lawsuit is a temporary restraining order. The lawsuit is not you play every down of football outside of the first 2 weeks of the 2026 season, right? Multiple wrongs do not make a right. See if I can do this. I don't like that. All right, whatever. Let's continue. I've heard the word integrity used a great deal in the last 48 hours. As someone who has dedicated his career to college sports, I too believe integrity is central to our industry's success. I also think integrity applies on more than one front. The integrity of sport matters, so does the integrity of how we treat a 22-year-old who sought help. Entered the residential treatment and is working every day toward recovery. Those two things don't have to be in conflict. Okay, if you watching this right now, if somebody's attacking Texas Tech for not having integrity, I would tell you to check yourself. And that might be all you watching right now. And all of you right now, you guys could just hate me for saying that, but that's how I feel about it. Why do we get to be judge and jury? We're not, right? We're opinion makers. We're not deciders. I don't know how you see this is not integrity. I don't see how you see that Texas Tech has done anything wrong to this point. If they've done anything wrong, they've kept the option open for him to play the 2026 season. Anyway, I have 2 sons, including one who recently graduated from Texas Tech. Let me be direct about with Texas Tech's position actually is. We are glad Brendan is still part of our community because that is where we can extend him the best possible support in his ongoing recovery. clinical care, device monitoring, financial oversight, outpatient therapy. That infrastructure exists because we take our responsibility to this young man seriously. We spent Monday after the judge's ruling getting those systems stood up for him, not thinking about X's and O's. Pulling him out of a structured environment away from his team and his support system does not protect anyone. It might be clear headline, but it might be a cleaner headline, but it won't be the right one. And it wouldn't be true to the institutional values that guide us every day. And then at the bottom, he says, we understand your frustration, and let's let this go. Let's work through the process. Okay. So I apologize. I can't make that bigger. I did post a link to the article. It is absolutely, positively, 100% up to Brendan Sorsby, up to Texas Tech to keep him on the team and to play him in 2026. I'll say that again. He cannot put himself into games. He cannot keep himself on the roster. He cannot skip 2 weeks and come out and become a Heisman candidate. None of those things Brendan Sorsby can do on his own. It requires enablement. It requires somebody else that has the control to put him in those positions. So I guess the question is, how tolerant are we for process? And how mean do we need to be on enforcement? And what is the penalty? Somebody tell me what should happen, right? I'm going to open up the phones. You're going to be able to call in. But I want somebody to tell me what it should be. I know what my idea is. My idea is basically he sits, you do all those things, support him, all those things that Kirby Hocutt said there, the therapy, outpatient support, all that stuff, very, very important for a human being's recovery from a very bad addiction in gambling. Texas Tech doesn't have to change any of that. They just don't play him. That's my solution. And then we go ... But what if they play him? What if Texas Tech says, screw y'all, the judge said he could do it, we're going to play him week 3? Now, this second, I would actually say before the first game, but if he's on the roster before the first game, to come onto the field at any point, whenever their first game is, August 28th, whatever it may be, that's the day, in my opinion, we can start now going next level and saying, this is what I think we need to be doing with it. This is how we think enforcement should be. And then you can hold Texas Tech accountable. Right now, what are you holding Texas Tech accountable for? He didn't. Texas Tech didn't gamble. Did he? If he did, I missed. Texas Tech has not gone through and said, yeah, we not only are enabling him, but we're going to give him the money to go gamble more. Of course not. But if you play him, there are penalties for that. There, in my opinion, that's when you could start looking at things saying, well, institutional control, the organization is enabling the potential for the slightest hint something may be wrong. That's rough, right? That is extremely difficult to handle. And I think we need to understand that, boy, oh boy, if we get there, then Texas Tech has to look in the mirror at that point. Let me read this comment. Sorry, it's not a comment. Danielle sent me a message. No, she can't. She can't come. That's too bad. I got to tell her to travel safe. So we won't be having Danielle Kelley. I apologize about that, but I can't control it. So kind of like Texas Tech could not control what Brendan Sorsby did at Indiana, what they did at Cincinnati. Let's get to some more comments. I've got member comments here. I've also got new memberships. Moen gave out. I think I saw them. Let's see here. We did that one. We did. Nope, not that one. Let's see. Not making friends. Oh, I'll read this again. I can't remember if I read it or not, but Ryan Willie says Texas Tech is not making friends by threatening the other conferences for not wanting to play them with lawsuits. Yeah, it's ugly. That's really, really bad. Moen After Dark giving 5 new memberships. That's right, 5 new memberships to the College Football Mafia family. And I like using sounds if I can multitask a little bit. Let me see who got those memberships. Mick Stevens, Glenn Hanna. We were just talking about Glenn Hanna, Moen. Cranky Tiger, NSPR 8586, and Isaac Harlan. Welcome to the College Football Mafia family. You are given a free membership by the one and only Moen After Dark. Those memberships are valid for all of our members-only shows, live shows, and all of the members-only videos, which give you insight behind the curtain type stuff that's scheming in the world of college football. And we've got some really good stuff. And if you're just seeing us for the first time tonight, consider becoming a member. Go to our library and see some of the, I think you can see them even if you can't access them. See all the videos we've created, and I think you'll understand there the price is worth what you get back for it. So thank you, Moen, for giving those memberships. And thanks, guys. Make sure you thank Moen in the chat. Say, thanks, Moen After Dark, for giving you a membership. And then if you received one, consider paying it forward and giving somebody else a membership. The way you do that is you click the dollar bill next to the comment section on YouTube, hit what is it? Gift memberships. And I'd love to have more memberships come in tonight. Thank you so much, Moen. This is fantastic. It's great to have you here. All right. So thanks for sitting through that with me. Let me get to some more. We got some member comments, or one, I guess. Earl Carr, member for 35 months. Oh my gosh. Earl was like the first or second or third person to subscribe to this channel when we were a long time ago. Earl, thank you so much for your loyalty, being with us for 3 years. And I can't thank you enough. Go Cougars is what I'm going to say. And Earl Carr's member comment is, if Sorsby can play Rose, Rose should be in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, again, Earl, you're spot on. Zero tolerance in gambling. There's been tolerance for point shaving. There's been tolerance for throwing games. All those things have happened. And yet, there's only been, as far as I know, one that's been banned for life. That's Pete Rose from baseball's Hall of Fame. He should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer 40 years ago, or whatever it is now. And instead, gambled on the Cincinnati Reds. Those bets came out into the public, and he was banned for life. Can we all sit here right now and say we want Brendan Sorsby to never play football again? I'm not saying that. I don't think anybody watching the show, well, maybe some people watching the show think that that's where we should go. But I don't want that. What I want is Brendan Sorsby to go to the supplemental draft of the NFL. Walk away from college. Yes, you're walking away from millions of dollars in MMR and NIL money, but prepare for the NFL. That's your ultimate goal anyway. The only difference is you're skipping a step that you were trying to cash in on your last year. And that's cool. I have no problem with that. But you cannot bet on your own team, ever. Doesn't matter how long ago that happened. If the NFL picks him up, they are going to put the screws to his thumbs to try to enforce and make sure that he stays clean. Gambling free. But the NFL has the resources to do that. They have a collective bargaining agreement and protections in the union. Nobody has those things in college, right? Something I've advocated for forever and a day. Brendan Sorsby doesn't have that right now, and that's why we're going through this. So, what do you guys think about all that? That's a lot. I know. That's a lot. We out one more. Let's get to one more. Ryan Willie gives another 5 new memberships to the College Football Mafia family. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, Ryan. And I'm going to give you, let's see. Sounds. Applause is always good. Thank you, Ryan Willie, for the gifted memberships. If you received a membership, thank Ryan Willie in the comment section. I appreciate you, Ryan. I'm glad you're doing well. And make sure you keep us posted on how you're doing. Ryan is an OG member of the College Football Mafia family. And the people that just got memberships are, let's see, make sure I get the right ones, from Evil Badger, Hawken, 11, let's see, Hawken, we'll just say that. James Kane, Gulf, and Gulf, I'm not going to say the rest of that. Jason Roberts, Mike, let's see, Myri Derrick. Again, these are hard names for me to read, evidently. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's all 5 of you. Jason Roberts, Hawken, James Kane. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank Ryan Willie in the comment section for supporting you and giving you the ability to be here to participate tonight, and also watch those member videos when you're prepared, because it's a big deal. The stuff we put out there is no joke, and we prepare it for you, so you're the smartest ones in the room. So I encourage everybody to do that. Let me find my next page here really quick. Well, before we jump on, let's read some regular comments, eh? Let's do that. You guys have been live in the comments. Let's just work on a few of these in the window. Let me go down all the way down to the bottom. Timothy Green, our soldier out east, West Virginia Mountaineer. Good to have you here, Timothy. Super fan. You know, that sad part of this is there's an athlete shaving points or betting, etc. It happens every year, but they all don't get caught. But it does happen because of the money involved. Facts. That is absolutely facts. Jay Chapman, I will open the phone lines in just a little bit. I will do that. I see your comment here. Thank you, Timothy. Appreciate your comment. And please do like, subscribe, and all those things Timothy always says. Call. I will open up the phone lines, Jay. Since we're not going to have our super lawyer Danielle Kelley join us tonight. Yes, I'm going to open up the phones early. Kessler would fix all of the holes of the NCAA. I don't know if fix is the right word. I think he will blow them up. Yeah, I don't know. That's a yeah. Cranky Tiger, newer member but active member of the College Football Mafia family. Thank you so much for being here, Cranky Tiger. Let me get to that. Let me do this. Does anybody else's window resize when they open StreamYard? I'm just teasing, because my window resizes for some reason. Cranky Tiger, NFL would be nuts to touch Sorsby. He's got an NFL arm. I don't disagree with the sentiment, Cranky Tiger. I understand what you're saying, but, you know, I mean, winning, right? Winning football games, billion dollar activities, the Super Bowl, being part of the NFL, billions of dollars in advertising. I think somebody would take a chance. Put it another way, how many players has the NFL taken chances on that we look back now and we're like, I don't want to bag on Ryan Leaf. I'm a fan of Washington State, but yeah, he was not somebody prepared to go to the NFL. Drafted number 2, stuck around several years. Should we be enabling that? I mean, I just get frustrated because these are all things that are out of our control. And all we should do is take care of the things we can control. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to repost that. All right, get some more comments. To Town Hawk says Oakland will take anybody with a pulse. It's Las Vegas now, but yeah, I get you. Let's see. I did skip a few others. I want to make Shoeless. Stephen Pitt says Shoeless Joe Jackson. Yep. Baseball, again, banned for life. Arguably one of the best baseball players ever to play the game. One of the most gifted. It's really rough. Misanthropist Jesus says they would do some devious crap like that. Not sure what we're talking about, but I'm sure somebody would. Yeah. Let's see. Texas Tech should be absolutely be punished if they play him. He hasn't played it down yet, everybody. Hasn't played one down yet. Let's see. Trojan Fight says if Sorsby or Trinidad Chambliss or Owen Heineke case was heard in, say, Dallas, maybe none of them are ruled in their favor. Maybe none of them are ruled in their favor. Yeah. Everybody was afraid to take on. Okay, that's another thing. Who had money to fight these gambling allegations in the past? The players at Iowa and Iowa State, did they have, I mean, let's be open and honest about this. Do they have big boosters behind them worth many, many millions of dollars that may or may not be paying for his legal counsel? I don't think so. But I think this could have happened to the NCAA years ago. The NCAA is broken, everybody. Absolutely broken. Bulldog, Mississippi, representing Mississippi Bulldogs, valuable member of the College Football Mafia family, and somebody who contributes to my shows all the time. I appreciate you, Bulldog. He's going to do that little 2-game suspension and nothing else happens. Yeah, I mean, if he plays week 3, I just don't want that to happen. Can we not let that happen? Can something stop this from, I mean, I just hope it doesn't happen. KAIO 187. I say be mean to the college presidents, head coaches, athletic directors with punishments, not the college athletes. Okay, that's another way to look at it. I think who has the power? In most cases, it's the organization. In this one case, Brendan Sorsby took control of his own destiny, sued, won his temporary restraining order, and I honestly think Texas Tech probably thought, like everybody else did, that he would lose that and it would take away the pressure of having him on the roster day one. I'd be willing to bet that that was part of the thinking. Because they weren't part of the temporary restraining order, as Kirby Hogan said. Anyway, few more. Jay Chapman, Cody Campbell ain't going to be a billionaire much longer. Yeah, I don't know. He's got oil money. I don't think that's going away. All right, everybody. You guys are with me early, and I appreciate every one of you. Let me look at our new comments, make sure I didn't miss something. Old Texas Tech man. Good to have you here, man. You see, I got my Texas Tech Red Raider flag up. I love Texas Tech fans. Tons of friends that are Texas Tech fans, and I appreciate your fandom. Believe me. A lot of Red Raider fans believe this Texas Tech team is Will Hammond team. People don't understand. Majority of Red Raider fans are Will Hammond fans. Thank you so much for saying that, old Texas Tech man. I appreciate that because I think Will Hammond he's going to be excellent. I think he's going to be great. You're running a risk every time by letting him come in. No, I meant Sorsby. And coming in off the top rope before I go to calls would be peek around the corner, Greg Flugar. All parties in the Big 12, Texas Tech and other 15 schools need to know what happens to Texas Tech if Sorsby plays a snap ASAP. Decision needs to be soon. That's what I've been saying for a while now, Greg. Thank you so much for coming on. Also, peek around the corner, Greg Flugar. Flug Empire on Twitter. I would have everybody follow him, subscribe to his channel. Fantastic content on all the time. Does the work when other people aren't around. I appreciate you, Greg. Greg's been a mentor and a friend for almost 4 years now since we met, and I appreciate him. I agree with everything Greg just said. Just don't play him. But I agree that it needs to be discussed now. It needs to be done now. Don't wait 2 months, because Texas Tech will lose the PR battle if they haven't learned anything. They should learn that, because the PR, if he plays it down, the PR hit Texas Tech is going to take, in my opinion, will be debilitating. Yogi Buck checking in. Yogi Buck's an OG member of the College Football Mafia family, somebody that I really appreciate him being around when he's here. Yogi says, yeah, I doubt Texas Tech was going P2. Yeah, if we're talking about realignment, or in my terms, consolidation, one, I think consolidation is mostly done. There is some margin. In my opinion, we're not going 24 times 2. The rules and the governance is all screwed up. They're going to have to fix that. But regardless, Texas Tech, I don't think, was on anybody's short list. And I can't explain why. That's not my choice. That's just my kind of what I think. Kenneth Maynard says a postseason ban. That's something the Big 12 could do. Say you can't play in the Big 12 championship game if he's there, or if he plays it down, and certainly can't qualify for the college football playoff. That would change some people's minds. And if that punishment came down as an alternative, Kenneth, that would have to be, I would have to agree with that. That is one punishment I think that the Big 12 could do. Illini Ted, Big 10 fan. Illini Ted's also been a member forever and a day. Cody Campbell doubled down with more litigation threats. If schools won't play Texas Tech, I guess he wants all the smoke. There's not much I can add to that. Cody Campbell's brought this on himself and the conference, and mostly Texas Tech. I'm not a believer in all news, good or bad, is valuable. I'd rather not have any bad news. So anyway, Yogi Buck says, yeah, I doubt it was going P2. Sorry, I did that one. Greg Flugar from Granky Tiger is the Godfather. I think I was the first one to call him the Godfather, but whatever. Are there any other super chats? Did I miss anything else? Yogi Buck says, Bomber, the nicest guy in the college football YouTube family. Wow. Thank you so much, Yogi Buck. I really appreciate that. That is what I try to do. I try to respect people. It's hard sometimes, but I do try to provide some perspective that everybody has value. So, oh man, that's going to stick with me tonight, Yogi Buck. Thank you so much for that. All right. I have talked way too long. I was covering because Danielle did not show up, but I'm not going to do that anymore. I want to talk to you guys, and I will stick around as long as we have two things. You guys bring the heat, do some phone calls, and keep me around with super chats, super stickers, or new memberships. I will stay as long as you guys want me here. My wife is gone tonight, so I can stay, but I'm not going to do it if everybody sort of peters out. Anyway. Let's just start doing this, and let's have some fun. We're going to go and stick with Brendan Sorsby. Call in now, 801-899-6203, 801-899-6203. Call in right now, and I will get to your call, and I'll listen to you, and we'll have a small conversation and move on. I'll try to keep things generally short because I want to get a lot of calls in. But, yeah, I just want to hear from you. So call in right now, 801-899-6203. And let's talk. In the meantime, I've got some flagged comments I will read through, and we'll go until you guys don't want me to go anymore. Let me do this. Let me do this right now. Live call in now. Let's see if anybody can come in from the wind on that. Okay. Marcus says late night with Bomber. I can't go that line. I don't know. I guess if somebody was going to drop like $100, I might go 3 hours. But I mean, that's a lot. I'm not asking anybody to do that, but yeah, I was on for 2 hours last night. All right.
Call from
Caden the Diesel Freak.
Caden the Diesel Freak checking in. How we doing tonight?
buddy, I was going to call in last night, and I was like, what? I thought you said you were going live yesterday, that it's like live today, and I'm like, what?
Well, wait a second. Didn't I talk to you last night? You called in last night.
I didn't call in last night.
Oh, I apologize. For some reason, I had it in my head you did. Anyway.
No, I did. I was going to, but then I had to wake up early this morning because I had to wait on my service mechanic to get back to help me do some things.
Okay. All right. So tell me right now, thoughts on Brendan Sorsby.
Yeah, the whole Brendan Sorsby situation is just another case of NIL going whack, and then Texas Tech. Yeah, it's a whole whack job case over there at Texas Tech with the Sorsby situation. Now, I was harsh about it. Yeah, I my opinion about it still doesn't change. That's NIL at its finest and most corrupt, to be completely honest. And I mean, what else am I supposed to say about it other than it's just dumb?
I'm not saying you have to say anything. I just think it's great to hear people's opinions. So, in your opinion, as a Big Ten fan of the Ohio State, where are you in the idea of everybody bullying up and ganging up on the Big 12 and Texas Tech?
On the Big 12, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, why are we even bullying the Big 12 when they actually had a good team? When actually Texas Tech had a great year, and then BYU actually proved that they're one of the most dominant teams in the Big 12. I don't get it. And West Virginia's trying to make a comeback story. I mean, as a fan of the soon to be reigning defending undisputed 10-time national champions, soon to be.
Okay.
I mean, I got more respect for the Big 12 than most of the other Buckeye fans on this planet, to be honest. And I mean, I'm just being honest. And as far as the playoff expansion, I mean, if it goes to 16 teams, so be it. I mean, it's just a whole other case of us, Miami, Georgia, and, the BYU Cougars just having another case of, here we go again. People lining up just because they think they got a shot of beating either one of us, and then ends up either a double-digit game with no question or a close game, but not really.
Before you say anything else, my bluff was just called. Damn it. I knew I shouldn't have done that. I should have been higher. I can't believe I was going to go bed early, MBM, but you're calling my bluff. So now I'm going to be here for 2 hours. I got 2 more hours. Oh my gosh, MBM, thank you so much for the $100 super chat. I don't even know what to say except that we have the best fans around here at College Football Mafia, and I look at you guys like extensions of my family, and I appreciate everything you guys do. And so coming on and doing a $100 super chat.
Well, congratulations, MBM, our local Oklahoma State Cowboys fan, coming in with a $100 super chat. Hey, I'm giving you praise here, buddy, for being an Oklahoma State fan. So,
okay,
the other OSU fan. So, hey, I'm clapping over here. Come on now.
No, I appreciate you, Caden. So, any last words before I let you go?
I mean, I'm just waiting for college football season to start, but right now it's just getting things done around town. And I brought this up to a friend of mine actually here today, while I was out getting some stuff for the truck I was repairing. And I was saying, as a former Division III high school football player, Nathan, we were just talking about this, and I was like, I'm glad that I'm not playing college football right now because it's so terrible with all the NIL crap going on and that whole madness. I said, I'm glad at least I live away where I can enjoy some peace and quiet and not have to worry about cowardly people that run the NCAA because they don't like people that play when they play football and they play physical football at a university that set the tone. For example, Ohio State, that set the tone. Yeah, they've got serious problems, but that's just my 2 cents. But that's just redneck farm kid who just played high school football talking. But
Okay.
that could just
All
be
right.
me, or that could just be my buddies and I. I don't know what you think. I mean, you could tell me otherwise, Nathan. I mean, be honest with me, dude.
There's not. I really. There's not much to say there. I think what you've said is educated opinion, and I'll just take it as it is, Caden.
I mean, listen. I'm just being honest on here. And the College Football Mafia is the greatest YouTube channel for all college football information and news. And I do want to leave it at this. Subscribe to the College Football Mafia. You don't want to miss out on the next news that Mullen, Nathan, Professor Wild Ute, who I cleared the air with, and everybody else on the College Football Mafia has, because you don't want to miss out on on the college shows, especially with your boy, with my best friend and dear buddy here on YouTube, Nathan the Bomber Brown, who does some amazing shows with Mullen and the whole crew. So don't miss out. Click like, subscribe, become a member, because it is phenomenal, and you get some awesome perks, membership-only videos, and it's pretty cheap to subscribe. It's like, what, $3.99 for a membership on YouTube? So it's pretty cool, and I'm actually a member of the College Football Mafia. So, hey, if you want to become a College Football Mafia member, please do. It's worth it. The membership videos are awesome, and every live show here on YouTube is phenomenal. Big Freaking Friday, the Bombers Let's Calling Show, Mullen After Dark, Mullen Confidential. I mean, I could list all the name of shows that we have on here. You know what, Nathan? I was going to suggest this to you, and I was going to text you this.
Okay.
What if y'all thought about doing an episode with yours truly, the baddest Buckeye, on YouTube?
Yeah, we'll have to think about that, Caden. I don't want to say something and not be able to follow through, but I will think about it, okay?
Hey, well, you guys take your time. Let me know. And
okay.
Yeah, subscribe to the College Football Mafia, because you never know. Who knows? I could be on with Nathan and them, and we could just be chatting away. Okay. You never know. So please subscribe to the College Football Mafia. Like, comment, subscribe, become a member. And, that's all you got to know from me.
Thank you so much, Caden. Have a great night, and we'll talk to you later.
Yes, sir. Take care.
Okay, bye. That was Caden, the Diesel Freak. Thank you. Before I put anything else up, you can call in if you want. 801-899-6203. Again, I just got I got a chuckle to myself that MBM called my bluff with a $100 donation. And all I can say is thank you, MBM. I really, really appreciate you. And maybe after 2.5 hours or something, you can slip me a little message and say I can leave a little early. But regardless, I'm here for you guys. That's why I'm doing it. So thank you so much for all that you've done for us, MBM. And we'll keep her going, brother. I promise. All right, let's get back to some calls. Where did I put my thing? Is it there? Calling right now, 801-899-6203. 801-899-6203. Call in and let's talk. Let's talk. While we're waiting for that, I'm going to work backwards through comments. John Dry says, I like your Texas Tech logo in the background. I don't run from things, man. I'm a fan of Texas Tech. I have no problem saying that. You can hate the player, not the play, right? Is that how it goes? Hate the play, not the player. Anyway, I really like Tech, even though they be BYU. But I just think this is one of those inflection points. Tech really needs to look deep and decide, is it worth it? So good to see you, John Dry. Appreciate you being here tonight. MBM says no Utah fans in the chat to spoil the show. Where's Big Ten Rich? I haven't seen him for a minute. Like having those Utah voices in the channel. I appreciate that. I understand that's an inside joke for MBM. So let's get to some more here. Peek around the corner. Greg Flugar is actually going to join me in just a little bit. And I'm telling you right now, that will be awesome if he joins me. Timothy Green, I really enjoy listening to and watching everyone's differences in opinion, and that's what makes this show great. I learn something new every time I turn this channel on, whether it be Mullen After Dark, and I think you finished that with the Wild Ute or Bomber. And I would agree with that. I think we do a pretty dang good job. Just so everybody knows, it's not by accident. It's not by accident. We've designed what we do on purpose. Marcus Williams, $2 super chat, also a valuable member of the College Football Mafia family, saying, oh, yeah, it's late nights with Bomber. Call in, y'all. Numbers right here, right there, 801-899-6203. I'm kind of surprised you guys don't want to. There we go. There's another one.
Call from
Evil Badger.
Evil Badger, the Ryan Willie. How we doing, man?
I'm doing okay.
Okay, okay. Got to be positive, Ryan. Stay positive.
I'm trying.
I know you are. I know. Anyway, go ahead.
So as I said last night, the Big Ten and the SEC and ACC should just say, call Cody Campbell's bluff and say they won't play them and make him go through with the lawsuits. I basically tell Cody Campbell, bring it. And what he's doing now just makes the whole legislation that's going through Congress right now look silly.
Yeah, right. I mean, yeah, I get it. I understand what you're saying for sure.
And if Greg joins, tell him that Minnesota will not beat the Badgers this year.
What?
Actually,
Minnesota will not.
Madison.
What do you think about that, Greg? I don't know if you can hear him.
Gophers are going to pound the Badgers.
Commit Robertson from Atlanta, Georgia. I think he was from Atlanta just in the last year or two. So the Badgers are killing it this season, and well, of course that the Gophers are gonna lose to the Badgers in Madison this year, and for several years ongoing. So he won't have the accent to pick his teeth with anymore. So hopefully Greg can get used to not having the axe in Minnesota.
Well, I think Greg Pflugar knows exactly what he's doing. That's all I'm going to say.
Greg the Gold, baby. Greg the Gold.
Right.
Let's go.
All right.
Ryan,
thanks.
Ryan, thank you so much for calling in, Ryan. I appreciate you.
All right. Thank you. All right.
We'll see you later. All right. Bye. All right. Greg Pflugar.
Yes, sir.
Around the corner. You have some energy tonight.
Can we get to the brass tacks, Nathan?
Let's go.
Here's the thing. Here's the problem with this whole. Besides, the young man has a gambling addiction. It's a tough addiction to get over, especially if you look at what he's done, having family members put wagers on for him, all that stuff. Okay. There's a human element of this. There's the Texas Tech Red Raiders who are unable to say that they're not going to play him element of this.
Yep.
There's the Big 12 element of this, which is just a massive story, which is about to go forward because Big 12 is going to have to make some sort of decision about laying it down on what would happen if Sorsby played. Because
yes,
because the commissioner has 15 universities who are fully aligned, and they need to be protected. Okay, they need to be protected. Yep. It's a simple NCAA rule that every school has supported in the past. But there is another element to this, and you've talked about it, Nathan, about how the Big Ten and the SEC bullying, right?
Yeah.
They were not going to play Texas Tech, whatever.
Yep.
And that is the massive elephant that is in the room.
Yes, I agree.
The timing of this could not be worse.
Agreed.
Involving Cody Campbell University, his university, that could not be worse. The radicals have taken over, Nathan. The radicals have taken over.
Yeah.
You're not a radical. I'm not. We sing from the same. We sing from the same songbook.
Yes.
I have been. Now you have not been a real believer that the silos could happen.
I think the governance is going to end up being a mirror of each other. In other words, there's not going to be any distinction between them. So to me, those aren't silos. But I know that's not what you're thinking for sure.
Yeah. Well, no. They might mirror each other.
Right.
But the silo, they might go in the silo in their own governance, where they'll have their own enforcement arm, right?
Yeah. So yes, yeah, they both could have their own governance, but in my mind, they're mirrors, and so it's not really a difference. But I understand. I'm understanding the distinction you're making, though. So yes, it is different.
And because they don't trust each other, and it's not just SEC Big 12, SEC ACC.
Right.
It's SEC Big 10 don't trust each other. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but here's the problem. So you and I, while you have been not thinking what's going to happen, you and I are similar in that we don't want it to happen, because I'm afraid of what would happen next. Like I as a college football fan, I don't want. Okay, I understand why they're contemplating it. I understand why they've been thinking about it for months. I understand why we're at the point where we're at, because we can't get this global governance. Okay. I understand the motivation. I don't know if it's going to work, right? I think it's scary. I don't know if the Big Ten, for example, the conference that the Gophers are in, I don't know if they're equipped, skillful enough. I don't know if they're going to be able to build out the infrastructure enough, right, to govern themselves, right? I mean, I don't know if it's going to work, Nathan. I don't even know, Nathan, if it's even going to give them more protection in the courts. They think it will, because they're using the Ivy League case. They're using the Austin case. But here's the problem with all this stuff going on with Texas Tech and Sorsby and what you would label bullying. It's given the radicals. It's given those in the Big Ten and the SEC, those who have been yelling the loudest, to go their own way. Yes. It's given them all the more fuel than they've ever could possibly have imagined. Yep. That's the problem. And I don't know if Cody I don't know if he realizes that he's working against his own effort, like with the Cantwell Cruz bill, because that's the biggest, that's the scary part. There's a lot of scary things to this, but that's the scariest part of this whole drama that's being played out, in my opinion.
I completely agree with you, and people know you and I, and everybody that watches us know that we have the utmost respect for each other, and we also have the ability to communicate and disagree, and we don't lose our minds, right? So everything you just said has become an nth degree for a BYU. Let me just talk for myself.
Yeah.
Because BYU's here trying, to get to this next level, and Texas Tech, without BYU doing anything, is putting some of that at risk. So there's a self-preservation thing to this that really is going to drive people's decision-making moving forward. I would say that if the SEC and the Big Ten were already working on doing this thing on their own, this isn't going to stop them, right? This is just going to add jet fuel to that everything that goes with it.
Jet fuel. Yeah,
and it's just going to go up like a candle at the end of the day. I wish that it was something different, though. I wish we had a different way of solving the problems of college football without now everybody identifying with one particular issue that happens to be with one particular university that a lot of public opinion doesn't care for.
I think, I happen to, but then again, I'm sitting here in Minnesota. I happen to think that Texas Tech had a really good brand going.
Well, I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah. And they were kind of the underdog, especially in the state of Texas. And you got a guy coming in who is, and yes, I've been against Cody Campbell's effort when it comes to the College Savings Sports Act, but I have not been against him on what he's done for Texas Tech. I praised him until now.
Yeah.
Until now, because like his comments today, they were. I'm trying to be kind, but he was at full tilt. He's. Yeah, you know what? A lot of student athletes have done a lot of bad things. They pay the punishment, and yet they're still able to come back and play college football.
Yes. Oh, sure.
Because that's the rules that we have agreed upon up until now. Maybe someday we'll have a rule in which somebody speeds and they can't play college football. But I think that punishment would not fit the crime. We have a lot of things that, but this one has always been the easiest rule for all of us to agree upon.
It is.
That is the problem.
So let me ask you this, because this has been the story for the last 2 days. Everybody can't get off it. There's other topics I was going to talk about tonight. I wasn't dedicating this to Brendan Sorsby and Texas Tech, but I think it's a big enough deal. It's a tipping point moment. What bothered me with what Cody has done, as you know, I've been a supporter of a lot of stuff Cody came out with. I have not been a fan of the mandating stuff, which he put into print, and it really bugs me. You would mandate anybody to do anything that I have no inclination to support that. But Cody being an activist for his school and his team, I have no problem with him doing that. Yeah. But there's a bridge too far. And the bridge too far for me is you provide all this support and then you turn around and you use bad behavior in the past to reinforce bad behavior in the present.
Yeah.
Like it's totally gaslighting to say the reason we want to do this for Brendan Sorsby is because, hey, look what happened at Michigan. They got away with it, so why can't we get away with it? Why is this not something that we got? Like, so bad choices reinforced by bad choices really bugs me, and they're all excuses at the end of the day.
In the Michigan thing, now, Nathan, I lit Michigan up like a Christmas tree.
Sure.
I had live show after live show. I lost hundreds of subscribers. But you know what? You gotta call the balls and strikes how you see them. That was in-person scouting. That was cheating. That was not stealing hand signals. That was in-person scouting. No, not all the programs are doing that. In fact, I don't know if any one other program has ever done it. No one ever has brought up evidence of it. The problem in comparing the two is that, unfortunately, or maybe that's the wrong word to use, the horse was already out of the barn with Michigan.
Yes.
Until the end of the season, and then of course they probably Connor Stallions was kicked out, and so they were not doing it at whatever. The horse was out of the barn.
Yeah, you're saying they'd already cheated. So
what happened? Yeah.
Okay, I hear
now, you. And Tony Petitti, and I ripped on Tony Petitti a lot before that situation. I've ripped on him since. I praised him with the 2014 playoff. But Tony Petitti had to act. He had to do something because the other Big Ten schools were pissed. Excuse my language. They were, right? You gotta. So Tony Petitti acted in accordance to the Big Ten bylaw. He did it. He couldn't really do a whole heck of a lot more than what he did. Now he got, people said he didn't do enough. Michigan says he did too much. But I think he kind of threaded the needle. He did about as much as he could. Michigan went on the warpath after Petitti laid down the punishment. They said they were going to sue. They said they were going to appeal, and they ended up doing nothing. Because the Big Ten had the goods. I mean, they had all the evidence in the pot. They had more evidence than you could ever normally,
right.
And the NCAA had the evidence. In this case, the horse is not out of the barn. The horse hasn't even fed yet. He hasn't eaten his oat yet. I mean, Sorsby, as you're correct, Nathan. Sorsby hasn't even played a game yet.
Yeah.
Texas Tech hasn't even done anything wrong yet. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yet they still are open to the fact of playing him. And I think it's more than just being open to the fact. I mean, you can come on. I mean, they've had lots of opportunities to say, yeah, we're going to support the young man. We'll give him some of his NIL, whatever it is, but he's not going to play.
Yeah.
But they haven't said that. And so now, Yormark has to protect BYU. He's got to protect Utah. He's got to protect the locker rooms, because if that anesthetizes, if Sorsby plays against Houston, first of all, you know this, Nathan, I'm all excited about the Red Raiders in Houston. I'm excited about Houston.
Right.
Connor Wegman, Thomas, Amari Thomas, the great wide receiver. They had a really good defense last year. Willie Fritz.
Yep.
Houston's going to be right there with BYU and Utah, I think. Maybe not. I'm Greg the Cooler. Maybe not. But it's an exciting game. Friday night. Let's go. And all we're going to be talking about and thinking about during the game is every time Brendan Sorsby throws a bad pass, right? I mean, that's what we'll be thinking about, Nathan.
I don't think, it's brutal. It's brutal.
It's brutal. It's brutal. And if Sorsby actually plays from week 3 all the way to the end of the regular season, he plays BYU in the Big 12 championship game, and they win. Okay, let's say they win. The message sent to all the other student athletes, right, is, geez, I can bet, and if I get caught, and again, the chances of me getting caught aren't all that great, right? But if I get caught, it's only going to cost me 2 games. The precedent has been set. That is a cancer, or whatever other word you want to use, Nathan. That is horrific for the sport. And that is what I believe Cody Campbell, Joey McGuire, and the other leader, Holcott, that is something that they don't talk about. They're not going to talk about, but that's the problem in what they're doing, in my opinion.
I say here. I think having gone through this last 48 hours, contemplating different punishments that the Big 12 could possibly do, I think a postseason bowl ban and lack of access to the college football playoff, Texas Tech can't affect change there. Those are embedded into the system. However, Texas Tech can also sue to overturn that. They can fight for their own TRO. That's where this goes from just being a very 1, 2, 3, 4. This is now a 1 to 10 overnight, 1 to 10 of importance because of the effect that it will have on the college football playoff. And that for the Big 12, it was already behind the gun.
Yeah.
We don't need to talk about that tonight. This is just another bad move for the conference.
Well, so, I mean, the college football playoff LLC, this is big money, Nathan, right? This is big money. This is big money, right? Being distributed to all the schools. Not to mention the Big 12 conference race is important to millions of people, right? The money, the sponsorship, all that stuff. I agree with you. Like, and that's what my show was about, right? Like, I don't know if you can see this if I populate it. Can you see? No, you can't. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go
No.
ahead. Go ahead and share.
No, it's you know, bylaw 3.6. The conference, it allows the conference autonomy for discipline, supermajority vote. You need 12 out of 15. Texas Tech is off to the side. And it can prohibit the appearance of in a postseason event, okay?
Yeah.
Which would be the conference championship game. I don't think the Big 12 can do anything about stopping the Red Raiders directly from being a playoff team, okay? But they can stop them for playing in, I might be wrong, Nathan, okay? But at this point tonight, I'm under the belief that the Big 12 can stop. They believe they can stop. We'll see what the courts say, like you say. But what the Big 12 is under the belief that they can stop at Texas Tech if Sorsby plays it down for Texas Tech to play in the Big 12 championship game.
Right.
But if the College Football Playoff LLC in the playoff committee elects Texas Tech as a at large, well, that's their issue, right?
Yes. Yeah, of course.
That's their issue. But the Big 12 has the, you know, so imagine, if you will, you know, Sorsby starts game 3.
Okay.
They beat Houston. They go on, you know, at that point, no, forget it. Back that up. You don't even have to wait to that point. You don't even have to wait to that point.
I agree with you. I don't think you do have to wait. I think you do it in September.
Well, no,
August.
Obviously, the Big 12 has to signal what would happen if Sorsby played it down.
Yes.
And like you said, Nathan, Texas Tech hasn't done anything wrong yet when it comes to, you know, this.
Right. Yep.
Other than not saying, you know, definitively that he's not going to play. But they haven't right. broken any rules. Okay. So if the Big 12, see this, there is a quickening going on with everything. Like Nathan, you and I do this and we can't even keep up.
It's crazy.
It's
quickening. Crazy.
Everything everything we believe would have happened in 29, 30, 31, 32 has happened. It's happened in 26. Okay, let me try to say this before I lose my mind.
Okay.
Here in the near future, tomorrow, and somebody in the chat room, let me know if I'm wrong, because I could be very wrong when I say this. I don't want to put out something that's wrong here. Tomorrow, I believe, and Nathan, you correct me if I'm wrong, the Yormark meets with BYU, Kansas State, and Kansas presidents and or chancellors.
Okay.
I think those are the 3 in your executive committee board. And then it's next week when they bring everybody in.
Okay.
And I do believe, you know, I think we kind of know where Kansas State is on this issue because we've already heard the athletic director use some colorful language. I'm anticipating that him and the president of Kansas State agree, right? I'm, you know, BYU is probably in the camp of, BYU has been a great example for the Big 12 and everybody else that you have a standard, you break your standard, you follow the rules, and you got to be held accountable. So you got to think that BYU is in the same boat with Kansas State. You let me know if you think I'm wrong on that.
No, I think you're right.
And Kansas is probably right with the 2. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's say we go on next week and you get the board together and they decide to do the Nathan Brown, the Bombers idea of, you can't play in the Big 12 championship game if you play Sorsby. You can play all the games. Let's just pretend. You play all the games. There's no forfeiting, blah, blah, blah. But you're not going to be able to play in the game that we hold as an event, the Big 12. This is our conference, da-da-da.
Right.
If all that happens, and let's pretend that it happens, Nathan, that happens next week. At that time, if the Red Raiders come in and they say they're ready, if they come in and file the lawsuits at all the institutions of the Big 12, the Big 12 itself, that is when we see what, Nathan? That is when we see, I don't know, like from the perspective of the Big 10 and the SEC, from the perspective of the ACC, from the perspective of BYU, if you guys get sued by Texas Tech after that, boy, this could all happen next week, Nathan. Next week.
I know, it's really bad. There's no way to soften the blow. At the end of the day, the conference has to look to the protection of the conference. That's their job. Their job is to protect the conference. I would prefer they come up with their own punishments. I would prefer the Big 12 did all this in a dark room and then came out and placed an announcement. I'm tired of the backbiting. I'm tired of the rumor mongering. I'm tired of the Kansas State president screaming and yelling on the AD. Whatever happens, I don't need to hear any of that. Just come out and say very simply, this is the news. However, the Big 12 has a standard. And if this was to happen, any team, if this was to happen, an admitted gambling junkie, I hate to say that, addict, because he is a human being and deserves empathy.
Absolutely.
But you don't have to enable him either. You don't have to back up his choices, which you can judge as an individual. Were they good or were they bad? Everybody can make that decision. I do think Texas Tech at that point could possibly sue the Big 12 to keep their access. But if they went out and declared that and said right out front next week, all this other stuff is white noise. We have made a decision as an organization. If this was to happen, then this will happen. Math problem, right? If then statement. And if that was to occur, now who's the absolute bad guy at that point? Texas Tech then would be forced to declare. They would have to come out and say, we're going to go one way or the other. And at that point, now you can start making judgments on people's choices. As you said, Texas Tech hasn't done anything wrong. Up to this point, they've been supportive and they want to be helpful. But they will do something wrong if they play him one down in the season. That is my opinion. And I think that's where the Big 12 is going to go. They're going to say, we'll play your games, whatever. Your games might be vacated. If you beat somebody, it might not count for anything. But it's more about that postseason ban. This team is built this year for Texas Tech to win a playoff game. They put it's a $40 million roster. We're just guessing. There's so much money in that thing to go in and win a college football playoff game. And honestly, if they win and then get dropped out, people are going to forget Brendan Sorsby. They're going to think about what wasted season in Lubbock. Why does Brendan Sorsby come in and take over for the Texas Tech Red Raiders? One of the best fan bases I've ever done anything. Fans of my show, fans of your show. Some of the smartest people out there are Texas Tech Red Raider fans, and they would be disenfranchised because of choices people are making. But if the Big 12 doesn't come out and put a stake in the ground that says this far and no farther, then they also have to own their own choices. So that's what I would think you'd have to do. I can't think of another way to stop them. I don't think you quit playing them. I don't think.
I agree with you. I think you play the football games. Again, you and I, we're just talking, right?
Well, of course, yeah, sure.
What do we know? I mean, but I don't think you should. I think you play the games, and let the court handle whether they have to. Let the courts decide if the Big 12 has the power to keep Texas Tech out of the championship game. And again, the Big 12 is an association. You have you don't have to be a part of the Big 12, and there's rules and all that stuff. So I don't know how the Red Raiders win that court case, but okay. So, and then I'm going to bring this up, Nathan, and you're probably going to roll your eyes. Okay.
I don't know. That depends what it is.
Well, we're gonna do some more pretending. All right.
Okay. All right.
Let's pretend here. So chat, we're just talking. Nobody's listening. It's just the chat room, Nathan and myself. Let's say this, because Nathan, so Brandon Marcello came out with an article this morning. We covered it on a live show. There is a lot of crazy stuff that is being mentioned and said out there, Nathan. I'm not saying it's being completely socialized within these conferences, but there is some radical stuff being thrown around. Okay. Like I say, the radicals are taking over because of all this. Okay,
it's giving them the opportunity to
the normies like Nathan and myself, we're getting disenfranchised. We're getting pushed off to the edge. Okay.
Yes, that's right.
So if next week Kansas State, Kansas, BYU president meets with your Mark, they decide to advise the board of something or another. Big 12 legal counsel looks at it. The Big 12 comes down and says Texas Tech cannot play in the conference championship game if Sorsby plays it down. Texas Tech, Sorsby's practicing. They haven't violated anything yet. Yep. Will Hammond's knee still isn't quite ready. We got that whole storyline. The backup quarterback might not be healthy till week 3. And the Red Raiders decide that they're going to sue the Big 12. Okay.
Yes, that's a possibility. Yep.
Like by the end of next week. Okay?
Yes. They're already probably writing that lawsuit as we speak.
Yes.
Yeah.
What happens if the Red Raiders go on and win the Big 12 and they play in the Big 12 championship game and they win the Big 12 championship game? Let's say they've got it. They get an injunction. They get something in the courts to where they get to keep playing, even though 15 other Big 12 presidents said no.
Yeah.
Okay. What are we talking about the future of the Texas Tech membership of the Big 12? Because this, how do you even continue on? Again, we're just pretending. This is none of this has even begun to unfold. But Nathan, the Red Raiders are absolutely loaded this year.
Yeah.
They could probably win the Big 12 championship with U.S. quarterback. BYU is their challenge. Utah might be able to challenge. Houston might be able to challenge. Oklahoma State Cowboys. They've got some really exciting North Texas players, an exciting new coach. But the Red Raiders, what if they go and win the whole thing with Sorsby as quarterback? The Big 12 may not, the Red Raiders' future would be in doubt in the Big 12, in my opinion. But Nathan, I'm not asking this to you because this is coming out of thin air. I'm asking you because people are talking about this scenario.
Okay.
So I'm just putting that out there.
Okay. All right.
I mean, that's we're talking expulsion at that point.
Man. Yeah, that's That's hard to picture, to be perfectly honest.
It is, but
Yeah.
how would let's just take BYU. You know BYU, right?
I like to
How,
think so. Yeah.
how would BYU feel if the Red Raiders went on to win the Big 12 championship with Sorsby as quarterback because they won enough of the court case, whatever, the legal battles back and forth, the plan?
Right.
How would BYU feel affected at the end of the season?
I think last season was a tipping point for BYU. I think they've figured out they have to play the social media game. They have to start selling themselves more. They're becoming more present in the world. The respect issue is disappearing. People love to see BYU on TV. Notre Dame's home and home proved a lot. And I think BYU's turned the corner nationally. So if this was to happen and nightmare scenario was to occur, BYU would be extremely upset. They in the past, I would have said maybe they would have eaten one for the team. They definitely want to be a good teammate and member of the Big 12, but people lose their jobs, changing lives just to get into the playoff, let alone win some games. And if they don't get in because of something that Texas Tech has done, all the goodwill that is currently exists between the two universities, then it's quite high. Would take a definite hit. I would just also counter. There is a way that they never could get in the playoff, and it has nothing to do with the Big 12. And that would be the thing is a freaking CFP is an invitational. Just don't rank them. Don't put them in the rankings.
Okay.
Right. That's the easiest way to just drop them. It's passive. It's like firing somebody without firing them.
Okay. Let's say that does happen.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go down that road, Nathan. Beautiful.
Okay.
Beautiful segue, Nathan.
Okay.
Beautiful. And ladies and gentlemen, we didn't even have that planned. Okay.
No, we did not.
Okay, let's say the college football playoff committee doesn't even rank.
Yeah.
And of course, Cody Campbell puts his lawyers against them and they battle. The Red Raiders defeat Houston. The Red Raiders win. I mean, their schedule's lined up perfectly as well.
Missing BYU and Utah is a freak of nature.
They got Houston. They might have Oklahoma State, whatever.
Arizona State. They got Arizona State on their schedule.
Yeah, they do. But they have Arizona State and Arizona at home in Lubbock.
Okay. All right.
So the Red Raiders go down and they win the Big 12 championship. And in accordance, Nathan, according to the new college football 12-team playoff, the winner of the Big 12 championship has the berth to the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's an automatic this year. Unlike last year, when Duke won the ACC, they did not get an automatic bid. This year, if Texas Tech wins the Big 12 championship, whoever wins the Big 12 championship gets the automatic berth. So the Red Raiders go to the Big 12 championship and they win it, they get the automatic berth. But then the college football playoff committees has already ruled that they're not allowing Texas Tech in. You could have a situation where there's no Big 12 team making the playoffs.
It's not impossible.
No, it's not.
It's not impossible. I don't think it's probable, but anymore.
If the Red Raiders run the table, and they're not allowed in,
that's DEFCON 1 right there.
Well, we've been at DEFCON 1.
That's way around the bend. By the way, Stormy Cyclone just came into the house saying hi. Hey, member of the College Football Mafia family, also member. Peek around the corner. And down the rabbit hole we go, Greg. He sees what's going on now.
and I got to get going here.
Okay,
I got to go pick up the little general. But
tell her I said hi, please. It's been too long.
Yeah, Stormy Cyclone, BYU football, MBM. By the way, shout out to MBM for the incredible donation of Mr. Brown.
I know, thankful.
But Stormy Cyclone, we're going down these rabbit holes, okay? Taytown Hawk, Greg, it can't happen. Kansas ruins their season in Arlington. All right. But here's the thing. We're going down these rabbit holes, right? Well, the real rabbit hole probably begins next week, at the end of next week. This isn't a story like where it's going to die away. It's going to go up and down like the college football playoff and realignment.
Right.
This is a story that's already hit hard, and it's going to hit probably tomorrow. And then it's going to really light up next week if the Big 12 makes some sort of decision, and I think they will. I think they have to. They got the SEC and the Big 10 looking over. I mean, they have to do something. And if the Red Raiders come back and sue, then it's on, and then it's on. And then this pure chaos, then more silo talk, extreme silo talk. We're not going to play anybody in any of these other conferences. The rabbit holes truly begin next week, not a month from now.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Nathan, for letting me on.
Thank you, Greg. Appreciate you. Marcus Williams, by the way, $2 super chat says, does the CFP even have to rank Texas Tech? And I would say, no, they don't have to.
Yeah. And, again, there'll be another suit in court. It's the battle of the courts. All right, Nathan.
Thank you so much, Greg. Have a great night. He is Greg Pflugar, peek around the corner, the OG godfather of all that we say and do. I appreciate you, Greg. Have a great weekend. Have a great rest of your week.
You too.
Okay, see ya. Greg Pflugar. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. I gotta give some let's do a few sounders here for Greg. Ooh, look at that. How about that? That's cool. That's a cool background. Peek around the corner, Greg Pflugar. Thank you for joining the show. I appreciate you. Always has a fun time. And I at the end of the day, it's always fun to debate the things that we're talking about. And Greg is an honest arbiter, and I appreciate him. And it's something. When we started this channel, when I started the channel, and then Ute came in, and Ute is a wild Ute, and I'm a BYU Cougar. The first goal was to be able to talk about tough things, even passionately, and we've debated at times passionately. But at the end of the day, you have to respect the other person's opinion, and that's where we're at right now with Greg Pflugar. Peek around the corner. I appreciate him coming on and spend some time with me tonight. Okay, I'm just going to go. I don't think I missed any more super chats. I like this, though. I'm going to go through a few comments and then open up the phone lines. Marcus Williams earlier said, late nights with Greg and Balmer. Let's go. That would be fun, Marcus. I can't get Greg to commit for stuff like that because he has real life. But I would have a blast. I think that would be totally fun. Put the bug in his ear. Next time you're on his show, say, when are you guys going to do another late night show? Anyway, thank you so much, Marcus. I appreciate you. MBM says playing the role of the black sheep is one thing, but Sorsby is not a hill to die on. I agree. When he hasn't played a single snap, and you have Will Hammond in the QB room. MBM, again, thank you for the $100 super chat. But I could not agree with you more. You were exactly right. You're exactly right. I don't think it should be a hill to die on. I think Texas Tech finally needs to just say, we're ready to move on. We'll continue to support Brendan Sorsby as a human being and as a member of the Texas Tech Red Raider family. But there is no obligation. There is no hill to die on to say he has to play football for your team. It doesn't exist. No judge can come along and say you have to play him. That's not going to happen. So you run the risk of losing everything you've built over the last 3 years at Texas Tech for a single player, and you're willing to throw that all away. Well, right now there's nothing to throw away. They still haven't done anything wrong. Texas Tech is still not erred in any way. But these next couple steps are going to be huge. If they force the Big 12 to make a ruling on this postseason ban / can't play in the college football playoff, that's just as well as saying that's like SMU's death penalty for Texas Tech. They are built to win, and they're built to win now. They're spending the money now, And it would be a complete disaster if that were to happen. So if Greg is right and next week is witching hour, it could not happen sooner for me. I want it to happen now, today. Hasn't, but we'll look forward to that change. So thanks again, MBM. I appreciate you. I'm going to open up the phone lines. Since MBM made me commit to stick around a little while longer than I was going to, let me bring up the. All right, you can call in right now, 801-899-6203, 801-899-6203. I'm willing to talk about whatever you want in college football. Brendan Sorsby is still the headline tonight, the temporary restraining order, and how it upsets the balance of college football. But I'll talk about, anything reasonable if you want to call in and talk to me for a bit. 801-899-6203. All right. While we're waiting, let me quickly get to some more comments. Marcus Williams again. Marcus Williams knows the trick. You use my name in a comment, I tend to read it more than other ones that aren't super chats. As a BYU fan, Bomber, how does the church feel about this? Like they definitely can't like being in the same conference with Tech. Marcus, I don't. At least I can't believe that would be true. Without getting philosophical or, I'm certainly not going to get religious or political tonight. I will just say the LDS church is big on forgiveness and redemption. Nobody's perfect. Everybody needs second and third and fourth chances. There's no limit on chances once you make a mistake. Church is built on forgiveness, turning the page and moving on. Like I said earlier in the show, Marcus, it's not about the player, it's about their choice. And there has to be accountability for their choices.
Call from
Moen.
Moen, you sound aggressive. What's going on tonight?
I saw MBM Super Chat. I got psyched. I got hyped. I stayed hyped. I'm sunburnt. I got my garden put in this evening. I'm ready to go. I saw the interview. I was listening to the interview with Greg. Great job on that. Thank you, MBM, for that Super Chat. Big support. Let's freaking go.
Let's go. I'm all for it. Let's go.
Texas Tech fans. There's a group of Texas Tech fans that are standing tall against this Sorsby thing. We have to acknowledge them. They are doing the right thing. They're standing up and saying, we don't want Sorsby on our team. We don't want this. Those are the people that we need to reach out to. Those people need to get a hold of the administrators at Texas Tech. They need to get a hold of the president, the board of regents, the professors, anybody you can get a hold of at Texas Tech, and let them know you're Texas Tech fans and you don't want this. If you're an alumni of Texas Tech, get a hold of them. Let them know you do not approve of this. This is you're going to have a grassroots effort for Texas Tech to do the right thing, because Joey McGuire has shown as the head coach he's not willing to do the right thing. Cody Campbell as the Board of Regents chair is not willing to do the right thing. You've got the president of the university not willing to do the right thing. The only thing you can do is get a hold of these people and try and force their hand through bad publicity to get this kid pulled. It's not right that Brendan Sorsby can play a game of football after placing a bet on his own team. And not only placing a bet on his own team, he bet the under on his quarterback. He bet the under on passing yards. He's literally betting on his team to fail.
That's brutal.
How can you let a kid like that play a snap of football in college?
Yeah,
if he was in the NFL, he'd be done.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Pete Rose faced a lifetime ban in baseball, and according to him, he never bet on his own team. He just bet on baseball. And he got a lifetime ban, but this kid's just got 2 games to sit out. against Abilene Christian. You know, it's not like he's sitting out some major opening games, but this kid shouldn't be playing another snap, period. It ruins the integrity of the game. And I get what Joey McGuire's saying. Yeah, there's people who beat up a woman. Joe Mixon hit a woman. He was suspended an entire year for that.
Yeah.
These Georgia guys, they face suspensions as well. It's a lot different than something that impacts the integrity of the college football game, which gambling on your own team is exactly that. It impacts the integrity. You know, every fumble this kid has, any interception he makes, everybody's going to have to wonder.
I could not agree with you more, Moen. I think it's at the end of the day, they've doubled and tripled down, Texas Tech has. And I am 100% behind you. You know, I'm big about supporting the person and providing support. You were very clear and concise on why you think that's important as well. But it simply cannot happen. If he plays a game, Texas Tech is going to lose so much credibility out in the world. And you know who suffers? The other, 104 kids on the team, he's going to disenfranchise by being selfish. And then they're going to disenfranchise their fans who are all built up to make a national championship run. That's the whole purpose of this. And yet, at the end of the day, ego, right? Ego comes in. Nobody wants to admit that they maybe read the situation wrong, especially after new details came out. And that's what frustrates me so much, Moen, is why in the world didn't they do a simple $150 background check on this kid before they offered him $5 million?
Well, the interesting thing is, why didn't this kid go to rehab until he knew the NCAA was on to him?
Yeah, he got caught. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He ran to a publicist before he went to rehab.
Yes.
You know, not a good look. But, I mean, I think Texas Tech fans have to be the ones to press Texas Tech on this.
I couldn't agree
anybody
more.
else pressing? Yeah, anybody else pressing from the outside, they're just going to get more defensive.
Yep.
So I think and I've seen a lot of them online, and huge shout out to these Texas Tech fans. They love their program. They love their university. They don't want to see this happen. If you're one of those people, go ahead and write the administrator. If you're an alumni, talk to people in the Alumni Association. This has to stop.
Yeah.
You cannot have Cody Campbell as your de facto billionaire leader of your university.
Yeah.
It's not a good look. It's going to leave a stain that it's not a stain that's going to come off Texas Tech. It's just, it's not. And it's not going to be good if the Big 12 has to act, because then there's always going to be permanent hurt feelings between the Big 12 and Texas Tech. And ultimately, if the CFP acts, we know Cody Campbell's going to hire Kessler to sue him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Texas Tech fans, if you're listening to me, if you can hear my voice, please do the right thing. Contact your administrators. If you boycott games, do not go see this team play. If they see that you're boycotting games, if they see that you're boycotting merchandise, they will listen to you if you have an economic impact on the university. So you can use that as a threat or as leverage when you contact these administrators, these regents, anybody in the Alumni Association. You can use that. Say, I will not attend any Texas Tech games. I will not watch Texas Tech games. I will not buy Texas Tech merchandise. I will not donate to the Boosters Club. I'm going to take a stand for my university doing the right thing, the morally correct thing, and not doing what it's currently doing.
I could not agree with you more, Moen. Saying those two things back is hard. Bob Swanger says Moen speaks the truth. At the end of the day, Moen speaks from personal experience. He's not only a booster for Ohio State, he's donated money to Ohio State. He's also written letters to the AD, to the president of the school, to congressmen, to senators in the state of Ohio. He backs up what he's preaching. I've done a bit of that myself too, but not to get sidetracked. Take action, Laura.
Absolutely.
Take action, right? I mean, how many Texas Tech
Absolutely.
fans are in there?
I've done everything at Ohio State I could. I support them removing Les Wexner's name from every building down there, regardless of how much money he's given them. I'm willing to stand, and I'm willing to stand with the victims of Dr. Richard Strauss and the university's cover-up of that. You know, it's when your university's right, keep it right, but when it's wrong, you got to put it right.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
That's what Texas Tech fans need to do. That's it, Nate. I'll let you go.
Hey, thank you so much for calling in, Moen. It's so fantastic to hear from you, and I will see you Friday night.
All right, we'll see you Friday. Take care.
See you later. He is Moen After Dark. Moen rants on the channel. If you're a member of the College Football Mafia family, go to the I hate the way the YouTube page is set up because I would do a different model. But if you go to membership, right in the middle of the screen, if you go to membership, click that membership button and you have access to all the member videos. And then you also have access to everything else in the library. I would encourage you to do that. We have a fantastic library of shows. We cover everything in college football, generally everything in college in general, basketball as well. The business of side of those things, realignment, now I say consolidation, governance, we cover it all. And Moen is a fantastic, I appreciate him being a valuable partner to everything we're doing here.
Call from
Town Hawk.
Town Hawk, I knew this was coming. How we doing today?
Oh, that was fabulous. I love Bowen when he calls in, especially when he's fired up like that.
Yeah,
That's
he's
great.
fired
That's
up
good
tonight.
stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I especially like his Dr. Seuss, you know, I will not watch them in a bar. I will not watch them in my car.
I like it. I like it. I didn't catch that, but you're right. He did do that.
Hey, you know what? It's okay. I'm going to go completely in the other direction. I have
Okay.
accepted that Texas Tech is willing to do anything and everything, including play the role of villain and Darth Vader. By the way, they already have the color scheme for him, so it's perfect. As far as playing Sorsby, I think, you know, with all the things that Greg was saying, oh, you know, this could be horrible, this could be bad, this could be apocalyptic, and they could be kicked out of the conference. I don't agree with any of that. I think it's an amazing opportunity for the Big 12 to pump up the numbers for watching through the roof. And I think we're going to grab so many casual viewers this year because, you know, just like, Jerry
Yep.
Springer, people just love, for whatever reason, they love it when there's a bad guy and there's controversy. It draws attention.
Yep.
So I'm completely fine with that. I mean, it's going to be great. Every time you see him on TV in another Big 12 stadium, they're going to get booed probably for the first 15 minutes. Anytime Sorsby goes on the field to take a snap, they're going to get absolutely booed the entire time. It's going to look like an Iowa State home game for every single game with all the boos coming down. It's going to be fantastic television. And you know what? Those ratings are nothing but gold for the rest of the Big 12. Anything we can do and it pumps up the numbers, I don't care. I honestly don't care because you know what? Integrity. What's integrity anymore? You tell me. We have moved the goalposts so far on everything. I don't think while we're making a stand for integrity. No, you know what it is. We're making a stand so that our revenue for gambling is safe.
Oof.
So that people still believe in gambling and still spend the gambling dollars. Because when they think the fix is in, guess what? I'm not going to waste my money on that. I mean, I don't have a chance. You never know. Somebody with a bunch of money can get one of these kids to go ahead and toss the game, throw the game. I'm not going to bet on that anymore.
To Town Hawk, let me stop you for a second. So you're not the president or lead booster at Texas Tech, but you're a booster. You run a small, very popular. You make a lot of money, but you're not out in the public eye. You've donated your millions as a booster and being part of your school. And now you find out that because of this other guy, all your money could get thrown away. All your investment in the future that Texas Tech has gambled everything on this next consolidation wave, and it could all disappear in a matter of days or a few weeks. That has to have an effect, can it?
Oh yeah, but here's what I think. If we're doing all this crazy stuff and it's leveraged out to the hilt, and it's the same person that keeps pushing the narrative and having that much influence, and why do we keep caving to them? Well, either implicitly or explicitly, that person has said, you're going to do what I want, or guess what? I'm going to turn the water faucet or the money faucet off. So if I'm a guy who sits here and I give, $3 million a year, I love my school. I want them to do well. That's great. But I know if Mr. Moneybags tooting, hollering, shooting his guns in the air, and I'm gonna throw this thing into overdrive, and we're gonna do it my way. Well, yeah, I'm probably gonna say, yeah, this is the type of guy that goes on the lake in a speedboat for the first time and puts it on the rocks. But you know what? I can't take the wheel away from him, because he's the one who's got all the influence and says, here's $5 million. You're going to put me in that captain's seat. Well, yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. That's just the financial reality of it.
I did it again. I have this thing with my keyboard. It keeps swapping out and in. Okay, I'm going to give you a last word to Town Hawk. I think everything you said is pretty on. Just at the end of the day, what do you think happens?
At the end of it, well, okay, I am going to speak this because you did bring up KU, K-State, and BYU having that the trifecta meeting ahead of the board, the full board meeting next week. I don't think they're going to make some recommendation, but it's got to be almost a unanimous decision. I don't see it if it's going to come down to a split decision where some teams think, well, we don't really want to vote against it because we don't know if we're going to be in that position, especially if they're a spender or they're planning on being a spender. Then I don't think much of anything's going to come of it. Honestly, I think the financial reality is if I don't think you're actually going to cause yourself harm by playing against Brendan Sorsby at this point. I think if he plays, I'm not 100% sure that he's going to be the player that they had in the spring. I think the guy's head's going to be in a different time zone. I think he's going to have a bunch of pressure on him, and I'm sorry to say, but people with substance abuse problems or gambling, putting them in a pressure situation isn't always the best result for that individual mentally. So I'm not sure he's going to be able to perform, to be quite blunt about it. And I'm sorry, but that's actually a better thing for the Big 12. If he goes out there, they trot him out there, they went through all this trouble, and he comes to be, a middle of the pack quarterback, and they have 2 or 3 losses because of it, I'm thrilled. And I have no qualms about saying that, because I think they deserve everything that they're going to get this year. If you take the short route, the cheat route, and it stubs your foot, good for you, good for karma. That's what I say.
All right. He is Town Hawk. Thank you so much for calling in, man. It's great to hear from you.
Thanks. Actually, if I can ask for you, tomorrow, my mom is going in for a full shoulder replacement. If you could
Oh no.
put a small word in for me, I'd appreciate it. No, I think she's going to do great, but I know you're a man of faith, and I sure would appreciate it.
Of course, yes. Thank you for letting me know, and I will. My prayers are getting longer every day now for some reason. So having more people in there, I just like helping. So I hope she does well, and I think if she has the apparatus around her to be successful, she'll come right through. But hey, thanks for bringing it up, and yes, I will put in a good word.
Thanks a lot, Bomber. I appreciate it.
All right, we'll see you later, Talon. Bye bye. He
Okay,
is Town Hawk. OG member of the College Football Mafia family, somebody I really respect, and I think, yeah, prayers are always good. Anyway, not to get off on a side thing, but Town Hawk was reading my mind actually. Really quick, 801-899-6203. I'm just wanting to say the number if you can't read it and you're watching. I wanted to get to this comment that I just saw pop up from Bulldog, Mississippi, and I'll tell you my rogues gallery. Until somebody calls in, Bulldog. I think oh gosh. All right, I will get
Call from
Daniel.
Daniel V. Gygax. You're going to let me finish my thought on that thing, huh?
Well, go ahead and finish your thought.
All right, let me bring this up again, and you can quickly run through your list as well. My rogues gallery right now includes pretty much anybody who's ever won a national championship in the last 30 years. And I would add Texas Tech to that list only because they beat BYU. But at the end of the day, I think the rogues gallery is probably going to contain schools that everybody else is jealous of. And I'm jealous of a lot of schools. I fully admit that. So I don't have one that stands out. Texas Tech really isn't one of my rogues gallery, to be perfectly honest, Bulldog. I have no problems with Tech. I want them to be successful. I want them to be undefeated. And when BYU comes in and beats them, I want that all to be legit. That does not include Brendan Sorsby playing any football this fall. All right, what do you think about that rogues gallery thing, Daniel?
Well, Pat Mahomes never beat WVU, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
And it starts with Pitt and ends with Pitt with Mountaineers. So
okay, keep it simple.
Yeah, keep it simple. Talking about letting Texas Tech go from the conference. There's only been two that have ever been kicked out of a conference.
Okay.
Marshall in 1968 from the MAC. And they had a recruiting scandal. They were paying players. It was a big mess there in Huntington. They got the boot from the MAC.
Okay.
Temple got booted out of the Big East for football. And there's a little bit of background on it, too. Temple was supposed to use the money that they were getting from the Big East only for football. They were using it for other sports. And there was a couple of teams in the old Big East that said, okay, Temple, do you want fully in? They were in Atlantic 10 at the time, or you want out? Or you want out. We need to know. And Temple said, we're happy with Atlantic 10. It's like, okay, we're going to vote you out. Now, you got to remember that was about 25 years ago with Temple and 1968 with Marshall. Things have changed dramatically.
Yeah, for sure.
So if anybody even thinks about saying, okay, Texas Tech, you're gone, there's probably going to be a very large check that the Big 12 would have to cut because they are a part of the Texas Tech Big 12 broadcasting contract and a part of the Big 12 revenue sharing. So you will probably have to make them whole on that. And like I said last night, the Big 12 office is located in Texas. So let's say that Texas Tech goes ahead
and puts an injunction on the Big 12. Well, the Big 12 can't go and put paperwork in Dallas because it's all from what the courts in Texas say. Texas Tech is in a mess, and doubling down today made it even worse.
Yeah.
And you need to have somebody somewhere, and Texas Tech administration, somebody in the athletic department. The coach already came out and said what he said. The AD came out, and Cody Campbell is on every single TV show that they'll put him on. They're doubling down. And they shouldn't. They should sit there and say, okay, we know that this is an issue. We're going to fix it.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's getting kicked. I don't think anybody's getting kicked out.
No.
Even if they played him,
impossible.
yeah, I don't think that's a practical remedy.
Yeah, and
I do think.
Even if you took Texas Tech off the schedule for 1 year.
Yeah, I don't think they do that either.
It will not be. You would still have to pay out Texas Tech as if they're a full member.
Right. No, the simplest and easiest and most practical punishment would be a postseason ban. Just keep it simple, stupid. Why make it more complex? If 15 out of 16 teams in the Big 12 vote to say, if you play a player who is admitted to gambling on college football, you get a postseason ban. There, it's done. You don't have to do any white noise. No major press announcements. Tech would then be double down. They would have, or quadruple down. They'd have to decide, are they willing to put everything on the line for a 50-50, or is it time to adjust your thinking? That's what I would. That's the most likely. If a punishment is coming, that's the most likely to me.
Yes, and we're talking. How do you do a punishment? Now, you could sit there and here's the thing with a postseason ban. Those can be levied by a conference, but most of the time it's the NCAA.
Right. Yeah, but the conference has the ability to do it.
Yeah, the conference does have the ability to do it.
Yes, they do.
Like with the CFP. The CFP is not a part of a conference. They're their own LLC. The CFP could say, sorry, you're not allowed in.
It's an invitational regardless.
Yes, it is.
It's an invitational. So that it's not about the CFP. It's about whether your team can play in the playoffs.
Not a great invitational. They've been screwing the Big 12 for a couple of years.
Well, I'm not saying it's good. I'm just telling you that's what it is. I don't know really how else to balance that. You know what I mean? So
true.
Anyway, so anything else?
That's it.
Okay.
Talk to you later, Nate.
All right, we'll see you later. Thank you. He is Daniel the Gygax. Thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate it, Dan. You always help me bridge to the next thing, and I appreciate that. Right. Oh, here we go.
Call from
Stormy Cyclone.
Another troublemaker comes in the back door. How we doing, Stormy?
I'm pretty good. I didn't expect that. That's funny.
Good.
Quite the week, I guess, huh?
It's been wow. Yeah.
We've made headlines, be it good or bad, I guess.
Boy, yeah.
I mean, it should have been, and not that Daniel just come on, he kind of beat me to the punch, but it should have been a glorious week. We should have been celebrating West Virginia and their achievements and talking about how they're going to try to break the Jello shot record at Rocco's or something like that. Instead, Monday we get this stuff breaking. You know what I'm saying?
Of course, yeah.
I don't know. And I know Texas Tech is not backing down, and primarily, because of Cody. I don't even know how to go about. I mean, it's not too late for them.
No.
To do. Just pay them off and let them into the supplemental draft, and
yes.
But I know they ain't gonna back down. It just they're dug in like an Alabama tick right now. You know what I mean? It's just.
I think they wanted the court to bail him out. To be perfectly honest, I don't think this is eight-sided chess. Any of the stuff about Cody Campbell, I think he sort of just jumped on this and decided to ride the train. But at the end of the day, I think Texas Tech was planning on moving on after the court basically said, no, you can't play college football. I think everybody was waiting to be bailed out, and it didn't happen.
And I know a lot of Big Ten and SEC people aren't going to like this, but, they're kind of putting leverage on this, about the Big 12's got to do this and this and this.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? We've seen what happened with some of their conference stuff. And if they're going to break away, they're trying to use this as leverage. That's not going to work. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
You're much smart. If I can figure that out, everybody else can too. You know what I'm saying?
As an Iowa State,
they're going to do it. They're going to do it. They're going to do it. You know what I mean? And if they do it, there'll probably be antitrust suits because it is forming. You know what I mean? I just don't see it. You know what I mean? They're just trying to put leverage on you. But I mean, I don't know what we can do. I don't know the bylaws of the Big 12. What we can do, what we can't do. I think that postseason deal. I mean, I hate to even see that. You know what I mean? I just hope we can just get through this somehow. I don't know. I wish I had the magic ball to see how this is all turning out, but I just. I mean, we've been through this, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, whatever that was,
Yes.
I mean, we even had one player in the NFL that got a year ban out of the NFL. I mean,
yeah,
it's no matter what sport it is, the integrity is there that we cannot do this. And now we can 5 years later. I don't get it. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, between Iowa and Iowa State, I don't know how many wrestlers and football players we lost, but it was quite a few. You know what I mean? And and then it was an illegal investigation on top of that. So I don't know. That can open up the Pandora's box for them coming back into play on this deal or something. I don't know what the statutory is, how long it has to be, if it's past that date or what. But it's just a bad deal, but it is giving us publicity. I will say that for the Big 12. But anyway.
I don't know that this is the publicity you wanted to get. Tech was trying and has been trying for the last 3 years to become the brand in the Big 12. They've invested hundreds of millions of dollars at this point, on top of all the money Cody Campbell has put into his Protect College Sports Act. And to have it all thrown away because they decided to double down on an athlete that made some poor choices. And you have to look in the mirror. You didn't even do a background check on the kid. If you'd done a basic background check, you would have seen law enforcement had already questions about him. There were other things going on, and they didn't do any of those things. And Tech needs to own that and just move along.
Well, I think that is one thing that will change college sports for that part of it, because I think everybody's going to be checking backgrounds now. If they didn't before, they're going to pay a lot more attention to that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Yep, that's right.
I mean, you cannot afford to have it. But I don't know. I mean, Texas Tech is great for the Big 12. I mean, they've stepped up. They're not backing down. They're kind of the bad boys of the other league, and you got to like that. But man, is it really worth all this for $5 million? You know what I'm saying? And postseason, I mean, they're probably going to be there anyway, I would guess. I don't know, maybe not, but I don't know if it's worth that for $5 million is what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
I wish it was something we could control, and that's the only thing.
I know it, but boy, when people get dug in, you know what I mean? It's just the way it is. It's just, you know what
Agreed.
I mean? I
completely agree.
I don't know what. I mean, it's like we're the Americans and they're on Iwo Jima and they're dug into these holes and they ain't moving. You know what I mean? So,
I do understand completely. Yep.
Well, anyway, you have a good night. How's BYU? Before I let you go, what has BYU president or AD said anything on this matter? Or
there was a one-liner I saw. I didn't even bookmark it because it was sort of rote. I was expecting it, but the school obviously does not support gambling. You know, that's a personal choice. It's not a everybody else can do what they want. Just BYU doesn't participate there, but it's what does Kalani Stalky say? It's love and learn, meaning you provide love, you provide empathy and support for the athlete, but you have to learn from your mistakes and pay for them, be accountable for those mistakes. And right now, I think everybody's looking at the accountability portion of that statement, and we're not seeing it, at least the way we determine that out of Texas Tech. So,
Yeah. Well, you guys got the strictest code out there, and I'm thanking my stars that Pollard hasn't got his 2 cents in there yet.
I know that is true. I'm surprised where he's been. That's true.
When I seen that Kansas State president,
Yeah.
athletic director in there, and Utah on it, I thought, here comes Pollard, and for the cleanup.
Right.
I thought, oh my God. Well, anyway, he ain't said nothing yet, but I ain't saying that. Anyway, I'm just gonna let you go on that note. You guys have a good weekend.
Thank you, Stormy. You bet. We'll see you. We'll see you Friday night. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
He is Stormy Cyclone representing Iowa State Cyclones and a friend of the show. Been with us forever, and I really appreciate him and his loyalty and everything that goes with it. So let's see. MBM put me on the hook, and I said 2 hours. We're now 2.5 hours in. MBM, are you sitting in the comment section? Are you going to give me a little bit of a reprieve? I'll stick through. I made a commitment. I'll stick through, but I'm not afraid from asking for favors. 3 hours is a little bit long. It's my fault. I got ahead of my skis and I made a commitment. Always fulfill your commitments, but 3 hours is a long time to sit in your seat. I don't know how Greg does it every day. I couldn't do that. This is back to back for me, and then I'm falling apart. I'm an old person though. Let me get. Here we go.
Call from
Ryan Thomas.
The Ryan Thomas. It's great to see that 801 area code, man. How you doing?
Hey, I'm wondering, I'm wondering if we could put Cody Campbell and Mark Harlan in the jar, sort of like a black widow and a scorpion, and see which one of them takes out the other first. I'd buy tickets to that show.
Okay, all right.
But today's one of those days, just looking at Twitter and just, going back and forth, doing some research, reading a bunch of cases today, going back and forth, checking. I'm just amazed here. Today is a great lesson of what not to do PR-wise.
Right.
I
agree.
Shut up.
Yeah.
You don't say anything. You don't need a long statement. All you need to say is, we want to emphasize, we want to help, support Sorsby through this gambling addiction. We're internally evaluating things, and hope that he can get the help he needs. That's all they need to say. That's all they need to say.
Yes.
And, going out and making all these comparisons, I don't, there's something about our culture where we like to just double down and make ourselves look even more stupid.
Yes.
And, it's crazy. It's crazy. Next thing you know, Texas Tech is going to announce they landed Parker Kingston in the portal.
I hope that doesn't happen.
It's sort of he can't because he's got that ankle bracelet. He's not going to be allowed out of the state.
Yeah, I know.
It's just sort of, guys. We all understand the situation, but like doubling down and then threatening, it's just not. I talked about this last night. It's just not the way to get things done. And he's also probably alienating a lot of people for the sort of the State College Sports Act.
Yeah.
And again, look, this isn't that Texas Tech did anything wrong, okay? And that's great that they got the guy to help. But the issue is when an athlete is betting on his own games and he can have control over the outcome, like, we all agree that that's fundamentally wrong.
Yes.
And the fact that we're going to play this, the fact that you haven't said anything, it just tells me that you're doubling down that you have every intention of playing this guy.
Yeah.
And it's so hard just to say, it's so not hard just to say we're evaluating the situation and just leave it at that.
They should have done that at the beginning. That's what they should have done at the beginning.
Well, but here's the other thing, is the fact that they're actually talking to the same lawyers that Sorsby hired to sue other Big 12 members or others who, threaten not to play Texas Tech, tells me that this isn't like they're in cahoots with the kid. I mean, this is all their plan. And it's just so patently obvious to me. And I like Tech. I like their fans. They're good people, great program. But today is just one of those days where, I'm saying this out of tough love, just zip it, guys. Just zip it. It just does not make you look good. And the best thing you can possibly say is just basically say, hey, we love and support the kid. We hope he can get the help. But right now, we just need to let the process play out. That's all you need to say.
Yes.
And it may not make people happy, and I get it won't, but doubling down and making these comparisons. I mean, can you imagine how pissed off Jamie Pollard is and how pissed off Iowa State is?
Well, yeah, I think we can imagine that. Yes, I can imagine what he said on that conference call and everything.
Yeah, I can guarantee you Jamie Pollard probably dropped more F-bombs than a sailor.
Yeah, I'm sure he lost it.
Saloon on that call. And
Right.
I mean, the Big 12 Executive Committee, I mean, you got, BYU's president and the two, Kansas and Kansas State presidents. I can tell you right now, they're going to come down with a recommendation to do something. And
yeah, for as much as the conference can do, I tend to agree.
Yeah,
Ryan,
well,
I've got Rocket Rant here. I got to cut your call short. Is that okay?
Oh, yeah, I'll jump off because Rocket Rant is far more.
I appreciate you calling. I always love hearing from you.
Rocket Rant is far more interesting than I am. I mean, he's a good guy and a smart guy. So I'll get off the call.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, give him my best.
I will. Thank you. Ryan Thomas in the house, super BYU fan. We'll see you later.
I mean, I just heard Ryan. I don't know what he's talking about. You just summoned me from the depths of hell in chat to come. I would think people are already sick of hearing from me on this as well.
I don't know. I mean, you saw MBM. I was ready to get out of here. You come in and
we can go, dude.
Breakaway up.
I just didn't want you to feel like I was ignoring you in chat. I thought you were doing like the old Labor Day telethon.
No, I'm not. No, it was about 45 minutes or an hour in, and I said, okay, I've got all night. And just off the cuff, I said, I'll stay another hour if I get $100 super chat. And in 3 minutes, MBM. so I had to stay an extra hour. So that's why we're talking inside jokes and why I was asking.
Yeah, I didn't catch. I was too busy crying about the Knicks who are performing on the court like Cody Campbell is doing in the media, which is freaking really bad.
Yeah, basketball. I haven't watched that in a long time. So what's going on? You're seeing Texas Tech doubling down. You're hearing, I don't know if you caught it earlier, Greg said that next week is the Big 12 going to be able to speak out and possibly do a punishment of some type or, some sort of advisement to Texas Tech. I mean, the mess is indescribable at this point, but tell me what you're thinking right now.
Well, first, a couple of things before we get into that point. First would be, I'd like to thank Cody Campbell on behalf of YouTubers everywhere.
Yeah, right.
You're a billionaire. You've made many of us dozenaires today.
Yep, there you go. That's
Some
right,
of you hundredaires. And I bet you there's a few people out there that have become thousandaires today, all the last week, just based off of Cody and the comments and the overall story. So I thank you. I thank you from the bottom of my Happy Meal that I will get for doing a stream as people find a video I did and that starts blowing up and you're getting chats. So thanks, Cody. And I know you've had him on the channel, right? Before.
Oh, yeah, right? I have. Yeah, I've interviewed him.
Yeah. Yep. I'd love to interview Cody. I don't know if that would be that comfortable, but I'd love to do it. Second thing is, Cody, public service. You got a lot of money. It's errors. I'm looking for work. crisis PR is something I've overseen before, I might be able to help you.
Okay.
I'll give you a free consultation right now. Shh. Just like shh.
Yeah.
For now. Just like shh. But anyway, what's going on, man, with this stuff? I don't get it. The fact that I'm going to do my caveat. I feel for all of my Texas Tech friends, Big Lubbock, Laura, all of you guys. Others that I don't know, people that are in the chat. I feel for you. I understand. I know what it's like for people to come after. But your guy is just like, every cliche you can use. What's the best thing to do when you're in a hole? Stop digging your hole, right? Like every single thing you can do. Well, talk softly and carry a big stick. You already have a big stick. You got access to the president, Ted Cruz, and legislation. You're not doing yourself any favors. If you're not a lawyer and you've never read these type of contracts, you sign oil contracts, but not these kind of contracts, like, I don't know, conference bylaws, Google them, put them into Claude, check to make sure Claude is okay versus Grok. Don't use Grok. Then go to ChatGPT, use Gemini maybe because it does better pictures, and paint the complete picture because your school has signed on to the conference bylaws. Also, read the room, guys. You're not going to the Power 2. All you can do is alienate people. Like where you have a strong hand in some regards, maybe, a local court in Lubbock. Where are you going to... If you push this to the nth degree and you push everybody, like sometimes when you really push people, they eventually push back. Unless, of course, it's Jim Phillips, in which case you're fine. But it's not Jim Phillips. It's the Big 12 right now. And I'm sort of in a sarcastic, jokey zone because I just don't get what they're doing. They gave themselves a path earlier today with parts of the whole cut statement and parts of what Joey McGuire said about, hey, we don't know if he's going to come back for the third game and mental health. And that's all true. And then Joey McGuire says, like, he didn't kill anybody. Like, okay, cool. Like, he's not Hitler either.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what the hell does it have to do with that? Whether he bet on sports and college football and a rule that is sacrosanct across all sports in America and basically every other professional sporting league in the world can regulate this. Stop. Just stop with the deflection. You can argue a lot of things. That's not a good one. It's really not a good one. You're going to sit there and say, Cody Campbell, if you guys try to put any penalties on us, while we also want to do rules, and we already signed up for the College Sports Commission sign off, if the rest of the 73 schools or whatever sign off, that you could agree to not sue to be relegated. Why are you saying you're going to do that to the Big 12 when you've already been part of that and those are the bylaws there? All you're doing is making them go, we're going to get sued for jaywalking if we come after you. We might as well get sued for something good.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you're going to get sued anyway, you might as well go for the punishment that you think fits the infraction, as opposed to trying to figure out somewhere else. And all he's doing is making people go, hey, Brett Yormark, do you want to look like Jim Phillips or do you want to look like Greg Sankey? Because Greg Sankey, what love him or hate him, and I tend to be more towards the don't really like you too much kind of guy. At least he stood up on similar things, pros coming back and not being in favor of what, NBA got. He's had moments there, and he's forced. I believe that our live long enough to be a villain guy, Cody Campbell, is causing the Big 12 and Brett Yormark and the school presidents and everyone else to be looking with every one of their peers. Some of these Big 12 presidents want to be a president somewhere else at a bigger school, a higher academic school one day, potentially, right? Some of these athletic directors want to do that. If they all don't do anything, they're going to have a hard time if they aspire, just like, I don't know, Miami, Clemson, Florida State, North Carolina, whoever might want to get to the P2, Utah, whoever, right? They're going to be looked at too. They're getting peer pressure to do something. And all he's doing is putting everybody in a corner. I don't get it. And I don't even know now whether the leaks that we saw earlier in the day that were not attributed to anyone about, hey, the Big 12 is getting their lawyers ready. Maybe that was Cody before he just decided to go on the record. So, who's really running? Who is really... I didn't really think this before. I thought he had a lot of power, but all the biggest boosters, a lot of these schools have power. He had more because he was public. He had access to the president, the College Sports Commission that he was on with Saban, even though they didn't do anything, the Save College nonprofit, and of course his access to Cruz and getting the legislation going. He's just like literally playing into the hands of everyone that wants to make it hard. And I think earlier today, I didn't think the Big 12 would really do much, to be honest with you. And now, I mean, maybe, they would hem and haw. But now, instead of the fuel coming down, he's taken all the extra oil of like one of his rigs that maybe isn't producing that much, but because there's already a fire, you add some more oil to it, it explodes. Yeah. He's made them almost have no choice except for, or else they look like they're, stooge pigeons for him, that he's a puppet to everyone in the Big 12, including Yormark, who he's already disparaged in the past before. Dude, I know what antitrust is probably as much as you do, but I think we might know it more than Cody does in some regard, because the Big 12 is able to punish you. You signed on to the bylaws.
Yes, that's right. Yep.
Now, granted, Florida State, Clemson signed on to bylaws and certain things too, right? When it came to grant of rights, but this is a lot different, and they can actually change the damn rules in the fly if they want to, because things are so messed up. Good luck suing them, because you know what? They'll go into another, and I'll stop my ranting and breathe and let you talk or have others call in.
That's fine.
They're gonna. Bud Foster posted something earlier from not Bud Foster, the guy from Cover 3 podcast, FSU guy who retired his podcast. That what's going to stop, what's going to stop somebody, a senator or attorney general in Ohio or Indiana, from coming after Sorsby or doing something, if their school gets countersued by Texas Tech for antitrust, right? Like that they can file something on behalf of a state entity. And if there's dirty laundry, well, other schools, like for all I know, there's an ability for somebody not in Ohio or Indiana, Indiana, or Indiana, Ohio, somebody from another jurisdiction, maybe that's where FanDuel is, or some other betting entity, right? That can come after Sorsby for, whether they're misdemeanors, low-level felonies, they could come after Sorsby. No one has done that yet. I know Moen's talked about that. I think we're just in this.
I started the show with that. I don't understand why the laws, it's
selective enforcement of the law. What that would never happen in America, especially on a federal level. It's not like Campbell is friends with the president who hires the FBI director. Yeah. And this is his boy. So I don't know, man. I enjoy Texas Tech snubbing tradition in the face in terms of like that program coming back and spending money, and then watching everybody who was like using cars and stuff before complaining about it and jacking the price up to what is the market rate. Like I literally have no problem with that. But this is like off the rocker, man.
I couldn't. Yeah, you're exactly right.
There's my rant. That's like half my nickname, right? There's my rant. You decide if it rocked. You decide if it rocked. That was my rant.
Let me get to a couple super chats here. Moen After Dark. Sure. Thanks so much, Moen, for being here. He just want to get his 2 cents in. My contribution to make Nate stay late movement.
We can be bought. I can be bought, man. I mean, I need a Happy Meal.
I've done this to myself. At the end of the day, Moen likes to torture me. So that's where that comes from. And then another $2 super chat from Ryan Thomas. Westlaw, co-counsel for the win. So, yeah, I don't quite get that reference. But anyway, at the end of the day, I was with you when the day started. I guffawed at the idea that there could be any punishment from the Big 12. All I could think about is what could they possibly hit them with? They're not going to keep them out of the conference. I went to all these big ideas, but throughout the day and then into the evening, it coalesced in my mind that, hey, wait a second, they can. And then Greg talked about it. I didn't even know that, but they can suspend or restrict access to the playoff because those are invitationals, right? The Big 12 can determine who makes the conference championship game. It's not something you automatically get a gift into. They can also restrict any representation for the Big 12 in the college football playoff. That is another thing that they control access to. So
Right.
if you've gone through all this for the last 3 years, you spent hundreds of millions of dollars to raise the profile of your school on top of the Save College Sports dealy bobber for Cody Campbell, to throw it all away for really what at this point to me is just ego. You don't want to admit you were wrong. That's where we lose the thread. That's where everything disappears, in my opinion. I just don't understand how they can hold that line going forward.
Yeah, and like I don't question all of Texas Tech's motivations. Like I believe that once you get to know, like, none of us know Brendan Sorsby, right? But
Right.
you can become. I'm on this call because I started in a conversation with chat because Jen Knoll was trolling Miami 2 years
Yeah.
ago, right?
Right. Yeah.
That's how, and you become friends with people. Like if somebody's living on your campus and you're with them and you're in practices and everything, you can
Right.
become tight with people quickly. So I don't doubt that Texas Tech, also renowned for having great addiction programs to, help people in the study of that as well, really wants to help him, the player, as a person, right, for what has happened.
Right.
And I don't assume that they knew anything about his betting history before the
I
transfer
wouldn't
portal.
think so.
But,
I wouldn't think so.
I'm granting that. So I'm not even
Right.
trying to think of like you knew and therefore you did it. And Taytown Hawk said it in the chat, and he's right. Let me just throw it up so everyone knows what I'm talking about. Not to go on the line. Miami was one of the teams going after Brendan Sorsby at one point, or at least was rumored in the portal. LSU was. There was like 5 or 6 teams at a minimum that were going for Brendan Sorsby, right? And so unless you assume that this information would not have come out otherwise, how it first came out, whether it's because Cincinnati was pissed about him not paying him back, I don't know the origin story. I don't even care anymore, because the news story is so much more wild than how it happened. But before the grace of God, your program goes for a number of programs that just have the wrong guy in the wrong place on the wrong team and the wrong circumstances. It's just that Texas Tech, because of everything else that's been going on with them ascending and people being jealous maybe, and Cody Campbell's unlevel playing field of power that he has emerged through experience in the sport, access to both Texas Tech, to the presidency, to a senator, has culminated in him becoming the poster child for everything that's wrong over the last several years in some people's eyes. I don't adhere to all of that, but for some, right, that's that. And that Cody Campbell is the person above that, orchestrating all of this, and on the one hand saying he's going to try to save college sports while he broke the biggest rule in it.
Yeah, that's true. 2 more super chats. Stormy Cyclone, valuable member of the College Football Mafia family, checking in again, saying appreciate the effort, Bomber and Rock. See, there you go. You come in at the tail end of the show and get all the plaudits there, Rock. Daniel Gorby, Florida State in the house. Good to have you here, Daniel. Daniel's an OG member of the College Football Mafia family, renewed, and I appreciate him and love seeing him back. Donation to help keep Bomber on the air tonight. You guys are torturing me at this point. You realize that, right? It's like I can't take off the ankle bracelet.
Bomber only works overtime for at least $30 an hour. So just FYI.
I do this because I love it, Rock. I just keep saying I do it because I love it. All right.
So, we
go
can
ahead.
still do a call or two if you want. We just got to do it that way. Or are you like shutting off the phones? You're just done.
I've run out. I've hit my peak, I think.
I might have to stick around for another minute or two because the longer I've ranted, the Knicks gap of 27 is now down to only 18.
Okay, if you want to stay.
No, I'll just scream at I'll scream at an empty screen. We don't have to keep going.
Oh, okay. All right. I do appreciate you coming on though, and it's great to hear other opinions. Everybody's coming at this from a different angle. All I am is reassured that all the people I respect, and I know they've done the hard work to understand the context. Everybody's saying the same thing. the support, the empathy, grand slam. Texas Tech is fantastic, and their fans have done a great job. But this decision, tactical decision by the administration and whoever else is involved with it, to pursue Sorsby to play in 2026, I think is completely misguided.
Right. Yeah. And listen, selfishly, Cody, keep talking, brother. Keep going. Go on McAfee tomorrow. You know, call into Paul Feinbaum. But by the way, can we do a little special shout out for Paul Feinbaum?
Sure, go ahead.
Because you know Paul Feinbaum is now completely on the Texas Tech has to do something thing. But like a couple of weeks ago, he was all about, well,
it was last week.
Suspending him for the whole season. That's just ridiculous. The NCAA, you know, so the so Paul Feinbaum clearly is very strong opinionated and sticks to his guns and isn't at all doing a little bit of this to see where it is. How could you not read the room? It's gambling, bro. Even you should know that.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems pretty simple to me. I don't get it. It's a zero tolerance policy. The NCAA has screwed so many other things up. This is the one thing they've held to, and I don't see a gray area in the middle. You support the player. You don't support the choices. At the end of the day, that's what it's got to come down to.
You know, and the only other thing just to add on, and then I'll stop and wrap up, do whatever you want, is I think the Big 12 can't. Big 12, crisis PR advice. Your lawyers should have been ready for this outcome.
Yeah.
What you don't want to do is let a story have multiple life cycles before you do something.
Yes.
And if you're going to wait till next week, till whatever, because you're doing things thoroughly, or what the hell were you doing from day one? Because the minute that day one announced and you found out that Brendan Sorsby bet on sports and bet on Indiana, and this has been trickling out, not for 2 weeks, not for an injunction, for like weeks and weeks. Your job as an organization is to think of the worst possible scenarios so that if it happens, you're in proactive approach, not reacting to it. And your proactive approach would be like, NCAA takes losses all the time. They've never taken a loss on this. Look at Iowa. Look at Iowa State. By the way, you Iowa State guys, get your lawyers. Let me know. Happy to do publicity for you, because you should be suing to get some repercussions back, get something back for yourselves. But they should have been doing that, right? They should have had an idea weeks ago that if NCAA ruled, hey, Texas Tech, what do you guys think you're going to do? Maybe Texas Tech wouldn't have said anything, but they should have had an idea. They should not have been surprised that Texas Tech wasn't party to it, but they came out in support of Brendan Sorsby's attempt to go against the most important NCAA rule that we all think that is commonly shared, hence the reaction. You should have been ready for like game theory of what are the worst case scenarios. And if it every single day that this goes on, the Big 12 is getting a hit because people are like, what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
Right.
The leak out of the leak out of that report from the Big 12 and their conversation did so much damage to the conference that you can't let leaks like that happen. You just it's like the old Pac-12. The reason it disappeared in large part is because they couldn't control the narrative. It was people just standing out and saying, look at me here. This is what's going to happen. Instead of just being cloak and dagger, Greg Flugar, peek around the corner, and just hiding it until the last minute and then pouncing. And that the slow bleed for the Big 12 until this gets resolved. I completely agree with you, Rock.
Yeah, I kind of feel like they might have hired Jim Phillips on retainer for a strategist. And
gosh, I don't want the torture. Don't do that to me, man.
But yeah, anyway.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me for a little bit. I appreciate that, Rock and Rant.
Take care, guys and gals.
Man. We'll see you later. All right, peace.
Right.
Bye. We do good work around here, everybody, and I appreciate Rock. I appreciate Greg Flugar for joining the show, all the phone calls, and let's shout out some people that did some amazing, and I mean amazing, unselfish things for the channel tonight. Danielle Gorby, I'll just click through them really fast. Danielle Gorby, Stormy Cyclone. There we go. Ryan Thomas, Mowing After Dark. That would be a partner at the College Football Mafia. Evil Badger, Ryan Willie gave a $5 super chat. Marcus Williams always comes in with the strongest takes, and I absolutely love every single one of them. We got Marcus Williams again, and then this guy came to torture, yes, the bomber, by making me stay around another hour, and I could not be happier. Thank you so much, MBM, for your gracious, very unselfish donation, and it just helps us keep the lights on, man. We appreciate it. And I just want to do, I mean, there's almost 200 people watching me live right now. If you're on X, don't be a cheater. Flip over and open a YouTube page, go to College Football Mafia, and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment or question. We try to respond to as many of those as we can. Follow on Twitter at the College Football Mafia, or the other ones we've got here. Let me get this off here. Let me get this other banner off. Now you can see my banner right there. And get involved. Appreciate everybody that sends me DMs on Twitter. I try to reply if they're nice. And you don't have to agree with me, but if they're nice, we'll have conversations. It'll be a lot of fun. But anyway, MBM $100 super chat. Keep me around for an extra hour. I really appreciate that. Then we had Peek Around the Corner, Greg Flugar. Ryan Willie gifted 5 new memberships to the College Football Mafia family. We had a super chat. I don't know what you call these. Member chats, I think is what they're called. Anyway, Earl Carr, the OG, the grandmaster of all subscribers to the College Football Mafia. Mowing After Dark again, 5 more memberships. Evil Badger, $10 super chat. MBM again for a $10 super chat. Marcus Williams did a $2 super chat. And I could go on, but there are no more. I want to thank every single one of you guys for being unselfish and supporting us here, and supporting me. I take this stuff to heart. You guys are part of me. I'm doing this for you, and I hope we do a good job as a team around here. And I think we do the best job that's doable. Wild Ute Moen, Daniel, Rock and Rant, Becky Go Huskies, Sergeant Pickles, Fergie. And I know I'm missing others, but everybody that contributes to the College Football Mafia, from our heart to you, we really appreciate all your support. And last but not least is, I'm trying to leave every show now. If you have somebody that you haven't seen in a while, their face or their name popped into your head out of nowhere, that is inspiration. It's not an accident. I believe in inspiration. It's a real thing. I believe karma is real, pays it forward. You do good things, other people get rewarded for your unselfishness. And in this case, I just want everybody to know, send that person a text, pick up the phone, give them a call, because I guarantee you, if they talk to you, you will make their day, maybe even make their week. The fact that you had a second and reached out to them. Depression is real. Social media is horrible for depression. And I just want to encourage everybody to help your family and friends stay strong. Reach out and say hello, or you love them. And I think that's where we're going to end it. Thanks so much for being here for this special. We went doubleheader last night and tonight. College Football Mafia. We do everything we can. Please give us feedback. If there's shows you want us to do, more membership things. I want to hear from members of the channel. Send me a DM or leave comments in the comment section. We're looking to do more member events, more member live shows. There are benefits to being a member, and we want to enhance those. They're already pretty good, but we want to continue to strive and do better. Everybody else, stay out of trouble. Appreciate every single one of you for watching tonight. And I want you to just stay safe, take care of your family, tell them you love them. I'm going to say go Cougs and peace out. Everybody have a great weekend, and I will see you Friday night for the big freaking Friday show. Talk to you later.